Umar Johnson. I am a certified school psychologist.
Hi, Dr. Umar. I'm so happy that you're my principal. I love FDMG. Can you tell me about the school?
We are going to make history. We are going to shock the world. We are going to transform the entire community, one black boy at a time. In this school, you don't have to worry about special education. In this school, you don't have to worry about ADHD diagnoses. In this school, you will never get a phone call from a teacher or an administrator telling you that your child needs dangerous psychiatric medication in order to get an education.
All right, Cookie Crush Chat, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Let me know how my audio is doing. Okay, appreciate y'all's presence, your patience, and I love y'all. Got a lot to get into. Let's get into it. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming, FDMG, it's coming, 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 it's coming. FDMG is coming, thought his personality be twerking, it's twerking.
Yeah, what up, Smitty boy? Thanks for tuning on in. Everyone else in the chat room, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I appreciate it. It seems like it's been a month. I didn't live stream last week, and then really over the last 2 months, I haven't live streamed as much as, well, not in the last 2 months. Last month, I didn't live stream all that much. And then this month, I kind of got off to a rocky start. But my plan is to live stream today, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because we have a lot to get into. There's an interview that Umar was in. Haven't watched the interview. I don't watch these videos in advance anymore. People send them to me, and I stopped, looking up at Umar stuff. I just stopped quite a while ago. People send them to me, and if it's new stuff, we cover it. So I want to thank everyone in Cookie Crush Chat. Thanks to everyone who's been supportive of the channel. Thanks to everyone who's been sending me videos. We don't get to all of them, but we get to as much as we can. Thank you guys. How's it going, Shay? Thanks for tuning on in. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. And I want to apologize for being late. I know I'm late a lot, but I was really late today. I didn't get in until about, 2 hours ago. And I had stuff going on. I had to get in order. And then anyway, I don't want to give you guys excuses. I apologize. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. Everyone inside the Cookie Crush Chats. Cookie Crush Chats undefeated. Let's do this. How's it going, Texas Diva and Honey Pot? It's good to see everybody. Asia is in the building as well. In this school, you don't have to worry about attendance. Just send the tuition, because I'm not trying to be bothered with them kids. Y'all cutting up already. Let me get out of the chat room. Shout out to Lene. Thank you so much for blowing up the spot this year. Shout out to Marianne Laurent for blowing up the spot. There's been so much that has gone on this year. I got to say something. Hey, how's it going, beautiful Bernice? Hope you're doing all right. Good to see you. It's been a while. One of the old OGs. She's been around for a very, very long time. I want to say something, and I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and I've said it in the past that Umar, I felt like he was at rock bottom. I think at this point, he really is at rock bottom. With everything that's taking place this year, and seeing the trajectory of everything. Remember, Umar, he had, how much was that too, by the way? I mean, the amount of money that he's wasted is incredible. So I do know this, that it was $172,931.86 in taxes that Umar paid back in the day. Not too long ago, actually. I think it was last year he finally paid those off. That's all wasted money. That's school tax and that's property tax, because he didn't have tax exempt status in 2019 and in 2020, at least part of 2020. So that's $172,931 $172,931.86 right there. And then the bill that Umar paid, or allegedly he said he paid, I think he went into it, and I don't know for sure because I haven't looked into it, but he may have went into a payment plan. It was $38,388.22, because that's over $200,000 right there wasted. And then, of course, he paid out Mary Ann, I think it was $68,000. So that's already like it's close to $270,000 right there wasted. I want people to think about that. I have him on record, Umar, saying that it was going to cost, what did he say? I think he said he said it was going to cost $250,000 to renovate this. Well, he's wasted that amount of money to renovate the small building, the half of the side of the street. Well, he's wasted that amount of money just on that. There's other stuff he's wasted money on. And at this point where Umar is at, his follow, he can't go live without his own followers going in on him on Instagram. In my opinion, he's at rock bottom. He got all this other stuff going on behind the scenes. Winter is coming. He's getting up there, and I haven't watched the videos, but he's scrubbing toilets. But for what? Why would you need to scrub toilets? There's no school. It's not like children. Have anyone thought about that? Quick question. What's the point in scrubbing toilets? Why would you have to scrub the toilets in the first place unless it's the kicking spot or you living up in there? Hit the one. Don't get me started yet. I ain't gonna hit the one. This makes sense. Them toilets was filthy too. Why would in 2025, over 6.5 years after acquiring these trap bandos, why would you need to clean out these toilets? And it's filthy in there. It's not like there's children in there, because there's no school. There's no children enrolled. There's no faculty, no staff. There's no books. There's no Chromebooks. Yeah, there's no IT infrastructure. Let me stop. Why would you have to clean out these bathrooms? Unless you got people coming in there, up in there kicking it, and it ain't kids, it's old people. Or you living up in there. And if that's the case, why don't you clean up after yourself? I don't mean to go all, let me stop. I've been really asking myself, have I been too hard on Umar? I'm serious. I'm serious. That was going to be the poll question, because I got to give this guy some grace. If you're 51 years old and you've reduced yourself to scrubbing nasty toilets in an abandoned building to get money out of people, you at rock bottom, bro. No, bro, brother Jose, he don't do that because he don't use public bathrooms. Someone said that brother Jose used the bathroom. No, he didn't do that. He don't use public bathrooms. He don't play that. He's real, he's like me, just real hygienic. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, just something for people to think about. So here's the agenda for the next 3 days. The plan is to live stream Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay. And I'm gonna do my best to do that. I'm gonna do my best to be on time. Today, we're gonna get through as much of the video of Umar where he's cleaning toilets. There's 2 of them, one's shorter. We should be able to get through most of the first one. And then tomorrow we'll come back, we'll get through the rest of this first one, and then we'll get through the second one because it's shorter. And then my goal is on Wednesday to do a review, and not of the whole interview, but Umar did an interview. I don't remember. Shout out to James, sent it to me. Someone else sent it to me as well. He did an interview where he did give a somewhat of an FDMG update, and I want to cover that as well. See, the thing is that he's lied so much, and I don't think he's aware of his lies. He doesn't. I think he's lied so much that he's forgot about a lot of his lies. So he lies on top of lies, on top of lies, on top of Wakanda fries. And it's pitiful at this point. Like I said, I've said this many times, and I have the video right here. He said that renovations were complete back in 2023. I have 2 videos I want to show y'all. I know I've shown it before, but even before we get into, because this is how my mind works, before we get into the video for today, I want to play these 2 videos. And I have at least 4 videos where Umar is stating that renovations are complete. Okay, well, if that is the case, then there should be evidence of this in the video that he did yesterday, right? That renovations are complete. You see what I'm saying in terms of a logic stream? And always look for evidence. It's not about what my personal opinion is. It's not about what I think it is. It's not about what, painting false narratives. It's not about that. If Umar stated specifically that renovations were complete back in 2023, and he did it several times in 2023, then here we are in 2025, 2 years later, at least 2 years later, there should be evidence that proves that renovations, that they're complete, because he said they were complete in 2023. Does this make sense? Okay, so before we do that, let me start with this. I want to go to, this is August 11th, 2023. So this is over 2 years ago. And I've played this recently, but I want to just do this to set up what we're going to get into for today. Let's take a listen.
I am proud and I am pleased to announce to you at this moment, Black August 11th of 2023. I'm live, King. Black August 11th of 2023. I'm on a live stream, King. I'm here for a minute, though. Swing back around. Okay, I got you. That we have finally completed all of the renovations for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Pan African Excellence. I'm going to say it again. Today, August 11th, 2023, Black August, we have completed all of the renovations for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Pan African Excellence. I got to say it one more time.
Okay, it's not necessary for him to say it one more time, but you guys see the point. We'll be real quick here. Okay, the audio good too? Let me know. I'm concerned about the audio. If I'm too low or if I'm too high versus the video volume, just let me know inside the chat, man. I appreciate it. Okay, so you guys see that? Excuse me. Umar explicitly states that renovations were completed, and this would be, again, August 11th of 2023, over 2 years ago. Here's another example. Someone sent me this today, and I actually remember seeing this, but they sent it to me today. Thank you, the person. I don't want to say their name, but y'all know who you are. People be sending me stuff. I appreciate it. And I want to play another example. This is the following month, September 14th of 2023, which would be about 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. Okay, but again, the first time that he stated from my memory was August 11th of 2023. This video right here is from September 14th of 2023. Let's take a listen. And actually, let me go to the timestamp. Yeah, I think it's like right about here. Here we go.
What? He is not going to the deaf class, and he's not going. The hell do they have an IEP? Cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. Now, Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey, I am proud to announce that we have completed all the renovations on the Marcus Garvey Elementary School. The school is ready, brothers and sisters. The elementary school is ready. We're waiting on the HVAC inspection. Once we get the HVAC inspection, which should be this month, we're going to apply for our certificate of occupancy.
Yeah, sorry about that. What Umar is saying is, again, he's reiterating that renovations are complete, but he's also saying here that the HVAC inspection should be taking place in September of 2023. Okay, we're 2 years later, and renovations are not complete. Okay, again, maybe he will show evidence in the video that the live stream he did yesterday that it is complete. But furthermore, Umar is saying that they're going to be putting in their certificate of occupancy, which would have been, let's see, October of 2023. Well, here we are in September of 2025, and he still has not put in his certificate of occupancy. You guys see my point? This makes sense? So I think he forgets about his life. So really the question becomes, why did he lie about this in 2023? Well, it's the same reason why he lies about everything. It's to get money out of people. So he told people back in August 11th of 2023, the renovations were complete, but that's because he needed money, not to continue renovations, but he needed money for himself. So he told that lie so that people would get excited to send him more money. See, it's very different these days. It's different for two main reasons. It's different because a lot of his followers, his devotees, as it were, a lot of them, they woke up. You know, especially the donors. People recognize at a certain point that, wait a minute, he keeps asking us for money, but there's nothing that has been produced. And I gave him money back in 2014 or in 2015 or 2016 or 2017 or 2009. But nothing ever came into fruition. or 2010 or 2023. Some people, they donated for 4 straight years, and they believe Umar would give the illusion of progress, like he does here, where he's trying to say that the renovation will complete in 2023, and to get people riled up and get them excited. And then the sunk cost fallacy, and people believe that, okay, well, I've already invested in this, I got to keep investing because, you know, otherwise it's a sunk cost. No, people, you got to think rationally about this. What you're doing is you're throwing away more money. You got to know when to fold them. There was an old song back in the day, a country song. I used to love that song, about knowing when to fold them cards up and call it a day. See, well, that same thing applies to support. So these days, more people, number one, more people they just woken up and they recognize that nothing has come into fruition. Umar has not proven that he's serious about opening up a school. Clearly, he's lied over and over and over again. He said the school was going to open in 2013. He said it was going to open in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 2025. Do the math. And of course, he's also said it's going to open in 2026. So just throw one more on there. So if you do that to people and then you lie about it, that you're not showing them any real progress, you're making up all these different lies. At a certain point, people are going to wake up, and more people are waking up. That's why he can't go live, and he's afraid to go live for different reasons. The Marianne Lorient payout, out of court settlement, I think it was $68,000, something to that effect. Lenon coming out and spilling the beans. There's a lot more people who are talking about Umar. Unlike any other period in this whole Umar Johnson saga, I've never seen anything like this. I haven't. Some of you guys have been around a long time, right? So this is the truth here, that I've never seen this dealing with Umar. So that's one of the reasons why it's a different time, because you have Umar, he's lied so much, he's betrayed so many people, and so many people who used to follow him and support him, they don't do it anymore. In fact, he can't even go live without people going in on him. I'm talking about his own followers on Instagram. But number two, there's a different dynamic here that we should all consider, and that is simply this, and then we're going to get into it. It's simply this, that these days it's easier. It's very much easier. Black Anonymous, you know what I'm talking about. It's very much easier. It's easy to be a critic of Umar. That wasn't always the case. Black Anonymous, you still in here? Information Man. Well, shout out to Information Man. Salute, sir. Double salute. Okay, I'm messing. I'm gonna get that one. I don't even think they do that. I'll just do that one. All right. You remember? You've been around a long time. You've been a critic of Umar you were a supporter of Umar at a certain point. So a lot of people woke up more recently. A lot of people woke up back in the day, but there was a time, hit the one if you guys remember this, where it was very difficult to be Umar Johnson critic. You had his followers that would attack you online. You had followers, his supporters would attack you online, make up all types of lies about you, and it just goes on and on and on. They'll dox your personal information, which Umar did to me and others. They issue physical threats of violence, which Umar Johnson has done. I actually got death threats dealing behind the scenes. People sending me email, all this kind of foolishness that was going on back in the day. It still I'm not saying that the death threats still happen, but there are still people who still go at me in their own special way. The point is that back then it was much more difficult to be a critic of Umar because he had such a strong support base, and he had people that would kind of attack people on his behalf. And I can give you guys a whole list, stalking my family online, taking pictures off of my family members' Facebook pages and reposting them and concocting all of these stories and just all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff. These days, it's not like that, like it used to be. And anyone who was around back then, or if you were an Umar Johnson critic back in the day, it was very difficult to do so. So you put these two different aspects together, namely that Umar, at this point, he's lost so much credibility with all the lying that a lot of his followers that used to be on the forefront to attack his critics, they're no longer his supporters anymore. In fact, a lot of them have become his critics. Isn't that deep? And then on top of that, what we find is because it's a lot easier to critique Umar these days, there are a lot more people who are criticizing Umar. And great, go for it. Okay? So, in my opinion, Umar has reached rock bottom. I could be wrong about that, but I can say this at the very least, out of all of the years that I've covered Umar, I've never seen him this low and descended this deeply into this pit, this cesspool that he's created for himself. Again, I'm going to say one other thing. I was thinking about the poll question, am I too hard on Umar? The reason I'm asking that, and I was thinking, that's not the poll question, but that was going to be the poll question, but because I really want to see Umar turn things around. I know I've said this many times in the past, and people say, you just ridiculous. Guy, he's threatened you. You know, he's doxed your personal information. He's told his own followers to email my wife. Okay, listen, if you're going after people's wives, if you're going after people's children, okay, that's way, way too far. But even still, there's a part of me that wants to see Umar turn things around. But I'm going to do my best not to clown him as much. I'm going to try, okay? And every once in a while, I'm going to drop a gem for Umar to consider. I think that we can all learn from, and also rooted in my own failures in life, that hopefully Umar will see and at least start to think that maybe it's time to start make some changes. See, sometimes we have to be brought to our knees before we can be humble enough to recognize that it's time to make a change. I've been there. Umar is there. I just don't think he realizes it. And it's only going to get worse. And I told people, last point, I told people, and I want some credit. I told people that when that Cash App got shut down, you give it a couple of months and you start to see. Hit the one. And when Lenon came out, I told people this is just the beginning. Hit the one. Y'all remember that? And here we are. This guy at the age of 51 with allegedly 6 degrees, who's the most requested scholar, who's King Kong consciousness, who's the greatest school psychologist of all time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's scrubbing nasty toilets in an abandoned building to get money out of people. Make that make sense. Well, I told y'all. Thanks for hitting the one. And see, some of y'all been around a while. And I want to also, excuse me, real quick, welcome to all the new people. Welcome to you, Umar Johnson followers. I don't have any animosity towards Umar. There was a time where I did. There was a time I was very upset at him, especially when he, doxed that, because it put my family's life in jeopardy. He doxed my personal information and told his followers to come to my house, et cetera, et cetera. I was upset, but I don't have that, and I don't hold that in my heart. I don't hold that in my heart for anyone. All that being said, Umar continues to do what he does, and we'll continue to cover it until such time that it makes no more sense to cover it. We're going to see. All right. Thank you guys again, everyone, for tuning on in. Let's get to the video for today. Did I play the second? Yeah, I did. I played the second video. Umar talked about renovations were complete back from September 14th. Let me play just a little bit more of that.
Once we get our certificate of occupancy, which means we can let y'all in the door now, we're going to have a grand opening celebration. I'm looking at Kwanzaa of this year, December 26th.
Okay, December 26th. So Kwanzaa of that year would have been Kwanzaa of 2023. We're about to be in Kwanzaa of 2025.
To New Year's Day. We might do all 7 days. We might do 4 days. We might do 1 day. That is yet to be decided. If we miss Kwanzaa, and I don't think we will, but if we miss Kwanzaa, we're looking at Dr. King's birthday, and that.
Okay, Dr. King's birthday, that would have been, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, quick question, January of 2024, right? Yeah, January of 2024.
The worst case scenario, the first weekend of Black History Month in February.
So the first weekend of Black History Month, that would be February of 2024. All right, someone said that this video of him, the lion right here, is loud. I'll turn it down just a little bit. Here we go.
February for the grand opening. There will be a paint day. If you want to come help us paint the inside of the school, the 16 class.
Yeah, but listen, if renovations are completed, that would include painting, right? See, this guy, he lies so much, it's incredible.
Only donors can come paint. If you haven't donated.
So only you people who send him money, you're the ones who can paint. Everyone else, you can't paint. So in other words, you give him free money and then you come paint like a slave. Make it make sense. I don't see how, not to be like that, but I don't see how you Umar Johnson followers can let somebody treat you all like that, like y'all a slave. Not only do you pay for shit, I'm sorry. I told myself. Not only do you pay for shit, by paying for it, then you get the privilege of coming to paint for free. I mean, come on now. Y'all know that's not right. Okay, we done been through slavery. Our people done been through. Y'all know that. Our ancestors done been. We don't need to go back there. The sad part is shit. I mean, at least the slaves didn't have to pay to be a slave. Pay first. That's too far. I apologize. I shouldn't do that. I did that about a month ago. I shouldn't do that. I apologize. But y'all see the point. Okay, let's strike that. Just you guys see my point. So his slaves, they have to send him money first and then come to paint for free. I'm sorry. I just want to say this, in life, don't let people punk you. Don't let people exploit you. Don't let people turn you into a slave. Okay, that's the point I'm making. That's some sad shit. You got to pay to be a slave. That's double slavery right there. Shit. All right. Anyway, let me play a little more as we get to the video footage. Here we go.
You need to donate because you will not be allowed in that school for any activity, grand opening, or nothing else if you have not donated to the school. You have my number. You can text me for the Cash App. You can text me for the PayPal, or you can mail check or money order. We're looking at a paint day of possibly next month.
All right, we're going to leave it right there so we can get going here. We have about 1,500 people in the building already. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. We have 144 likes. Our goal for the likes is 500 during this live stream. We're already doing well already. By the way, the poll question is cleaning toilets in an abandoned building indicative of real progress? In other words, if someone cleans toilets, these filthy toilets in an abandoned building called FDMG, does that mean that there's real progress taking place? Is that evidence as to the notion that there's real progress taking place up inside of these abandoned buildings? Make sure you get your vote in. We already have 853 votes so far. 86% said no, 14% said yes. All right. Okay. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being patient. Let's get into the video for today. So this was from yesterday, the live stream. Now, it didn't post on Umar's Instagram, but there's a sister who she recorded, I think she probably recorded it on her phone, and then she uploaded it onto her YouTube page. Her name is Danny. I remember her from a long time ago. She was, I don't know if she still is. It kind of seems as if maybe she's not as much of a supporter of Umar. And there's different, I've talked about this. There's different, it's a spectrum in terms of support for Umar. There's people who watch because it's a train wreck, but they still support him and his message. There's people who only support him for his message. There's people who support him for his message and for this school scam. There's fringe supporters. There's also devotees, and there's also cult members. Okay, so there's different tiers to this. This young woman, she was a supporter of Umar back in the day, but what she's been doing more recently is uploading videos of Umar that's not really a good look for Umar. But she was the person who captured it and she uploaded it, so I'll shout her out for that. And that's what we're going to get into right now. So this is from yesterday. Is it from yesterday? No, this isn't from yesterday. This is from 2 days ago, I believe. 2 days ago, right? Yeah, I think this was from Saturday. Okay, so let's get right on into it. Thank you guys. Oh, I got to get to super chats too. Let me play a little bit of this video and then we'll get to super chats. Okay, here we go.
Taking the shit in the toilet.
All right, man. All right, I don't mean to pause it right away, but I just want to reiterate that we should see evidence that renovations are complete. Do we see Cookie Crush chat that renovations are complete? Hit the 1 if the renovations are complete. Hit the 2 if they're not complete. Just by this image alone, because you can look at the floor. There's still, I don't know what, I think he has plastic on the floor. And then you can look at the paint job. They painted down, but nothing's, I don't know what's going on. If you can see, nothing's even or anything like that. The toilet is filthy. Not only inside of the toilet, obviously he's clean. Well, this isn't too bad, but if you guys look at the rim of the toilet seat on the underside, it's filthy. And the question I want to also raise is, some people in this chat room, what's up? I'm sorry. Let me get out this chat room because I'm gonna get caught up here. I was gonna make a point, but I forgot. Let me let this play. Here we go. Okay. And, oh yeah, here's the point that I want to make. Okay, obviously renovations are not complete just by the floor itself, and then there's still plastic on the floor. The paint job is all screwed up. But I want to reiterate this question: why would there would there be a need to clean toilets that are in this condition if the school hasn't opened yet? How's it going, Lady Luck Club? Hope you're doing all right. Thanks for tuning on in. Who is using the that's what I'm saying. Walker, thank you so much. So who's using these? Who's now? Let's let's get into this for a second, shall we? Clearly, someone or a group of people, plural, has been or have been, plural, using these toilets, right? Okay, this, I know it shouldn't be having me thinking about this 6.5 years into this. Is it six? Damn. Yeah, 6.5 years into this shit. About to be 7 years in February. We shouldn't have to be thinking about this. Why do we have to think about this in 2025? It's not right. But why would there be a reason for these toilets to be filthy in 2025? Unless someone's been using them or people have been using them. But why would people be using them if they're abandoned and they're on the vacant property list? There's no students enrolled, there's no faculty, there's no staff. So in other words, it's either Umar who's using them, or is Umar and his homeboys and homegirls that be coming through at the kicking spot, which I told people was going to be the kicking spot. I told y'all about that in 2019. I told people were laughing too. They thought I was, y'all remember that? Black Wolf, you remember. Black Anonymous, you remember. Y'all remember that? I told people were laughing. He funny. No, I wasn't playing. I told y'all that there's always a kicking spot. I told y'all that some of y'all kicking spot babies, because your mama and your daddy, they was kicking it at somebody's house or something. They was kicking it, and here you come. You're a kicking spot baby. Shit, I might be a kicking spot baby. I don't know. But I told people 2019, people thought I was playing. I wasn't playing. I was serious about it, because that what the point is, that here we are all these years later, and in 2025, somebody been using them toilets in an abandoned building. I can pull up old videos where the toilets was filthy too, by the way. Don't make me do it. They still filthy. Damn kicking spot babies. Let me stop. Anybody remember that? Hit the one. That's the old memory right there. That's why it's funny to me, because I told people a long time ago. Okay, here we go.
Taking the shit.
Oh my God. I told my wife, I said, I'm a live stream nigga. She's like, oh, because you haven't been live stream. I said, I know. And then she said, the other bump you took, I said, I know. But she said, so what happened? I said, oh, he was cleaning some toilets. I said, but baby, don't watch. Don't even worry about it, because she don't like that. That's her pet peeve. She do not like filthy toilets. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, I don't like filthy toilets too, but she be buying all these different things, the toilet cleaners and stuff. I said, baby, wait a minute. You just got 4 gadgets last month. Well, I got to get these other ones. I said, no, baby, it's okay. I said, don't worry about it. Anyway, I was going to make a point. I forgot what my point is. Here we go. These toilets are filthy. Look at that.
In the toilet. Not.
Damn, he pouring it all on the rim. Umar, you can tell he don't know how to clean nothing.
Cleaning up. King.
Why are you pouring it? Anyway, let me stop. Man, my wife, boy, this is a trigger thing. I couldn't even let her see this.
Calm. Off the hook.
Oh, it is off the hook, because there's poop in there. The little, let me stop. Let it go.
I got to clean, brothers and sisters. I got to clean.
Why? Does it look like renovations are complete, ladies and gentlemen?
The greatest amongst you shall be your servant.
It's all filthy. The things, my wife, boy, I can't even. Oh, look at all that filth.
The greatest amongst you shall be your servant.
That's that beard oil. He got that beard oil. That beard. Anyway. See, he only had like 653 people in his live stream. We got 1,600 people right now. We got over 1,000 more. That he called everybody else a struggle streamer. Now, listen, the struggle streamer is when you got over 1 million followers on Instagram, but you can't get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Really, he should be getting 7% of what it, but he can't even, I mean, it's not even close. The point is that he's a struggle stream, plus he's live streaming inside the bathroom, cleaning toilets, and he's doing this because he needs money.
The greatest amongst you. I'm gonna let this sit for a minute, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, you can see they put the painter's tape on that bar right there. What you're supposed to do is unscrew that and then paint and then screw it back on. But anyway,
Come back and clean. That's how we gonna do that.
why does he even show this? Boy, he ain't got no sense.
Contractor shitting in the toilet, not flushing, not clean.
No. See, he gotta blame Umar. Listen, we know you shitting on them toilets. Cut it out. I ain't laughing. It's not funny. I'm not laughing about it. I'm not. There's nothing funny about this at all, okay? But we know the truth. Umar, stop it. Why you gotta blame the contractors for everything? Yeah, the black contractors, they came through and dookied. What do you say they did? Oh, they did it. Stop. You've been in there dookie. Y'all remember Dookie? Because when you get older, you don't say Dookie anymore. But you know, you remember back in the day? Yeah, well, I gotta go Dookie. Anyway, that's the old school. A lot of younger people don't know what I'm talking about. What is the Dookie? Is that some sort of a Japanese video game? No. It's like, I was taking my daughters to the bus stop. And it just came to the bar. I said, so what does XOXO mean? Because you guys be sending me that. And she said, you don't know what that means, Daddy? I said, I don't know that stuff. She said, it means hugs and kisses. I said, what? I said, why would an X and an O mean hug and kiss? Anyway, you know, the young people, they into that kind of stuff. Yeah, the Taco Bell surprise. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to it. Here we go.
And splashing.
Anyway, he said he blames it, these filthy toilets on the contractors. That's wild.
Contractor shitting in the toilet.
What you mean? It's new to me. It's real new to me. I'm telling y'all, I don't know the emoji stuff. One time my wife said, you need to take emoji classes. Because I'll be trying to text her stuff back. And, you know, to go along with, because she be texting me stuff, like emojis and stuff. And she was like, what? Anyway, it's new to me. Okay, let me get back. Let's get focused here.
All not flushing, not cleaning, splashing.
Splashing?
Yes, sir.
Is this the stuff you was talking about that's for the tape?
Nah, I'll show it to you in a minute. Let me finish this.
I saw it sitting on.
Let me finish cleaning this shit. Boy, that's a sad. Anyway.
Nah, you can try it. You can try it. I bought it for that, but that might not be it.
Right quick.
The damn bathrooms up. King Kong got to clean up the toilets now.
Oh my goodness.
King Kong got to clean up the toilets.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention, everybody. I have to switch my screen because I got this really wide screen when I got upgraded my computer. And so I need to start watching this with the main screen on the right so that I'm looking that direction as opposed to looking this way. So let me just rewind this just a little bit because I want to hear what the conversation was. And we have 144 likes. If you're enjoying the show at any point, make sure you hit that like button. It helps to get out into the algorithm. We already have 1,600, almost 1,700 people in the building. Shout out to Good Court. Shout out to the video. There we go.
The damn bathrooms up.
Yeah, why is he pouring? That's not how you clean. You don't got to pour that much. I can tell this guy doesn't know how to clean.
King Kong got to clean up the toilets now.
Man, this is nuts. Come on now. He's just spilling all over the floor.
King Kong got to clean up the toilets.
Oh my goodness. Filthy. Oh, that is
in here.
Damn, he poured a whole bottle in there. What in the world?
we got to do? What do we got to?
What in the world? The renovations aren't complete. This guy lies so much. Someone said it's pine sol. You are for the whole thing of pine sol down the thing. That's crazy. You know, you only need a little. Y'all know that. You only need a little bit of pine sol. You don't need a lot of it. What in the world? This guy, what is this? Are these CDs on the ground? Or what in the world? Hold on.
We got to do.
I don't think it's pine saws. I think it's door stoppers.
Got
see these things right here? I think these are like, because see, that's the box probably that they come in, and he just got, I don't know what that is. Let me stop. I'm trying to figure it out. Oh man, it's filthy. The Works Classic Clean toilet bowl clean. What's up, Bridget? I saw Bridget and Brian and Bridget in the OGs. Oh, shout out. Yeah, someone said, "Where's the brush?" You know, like, yeah, no gloves, no gloves. Someone said, "Who said where's the?" Because you just don't pour stuff in there to clean. You got to actually have stuff to clean it, right? Something. You don't know. Oh, Lord Jesus, don't. Oh, man. See, the thing, the reason why it's more disturbing than you guys probably realize, unless you've been here for a while. This isn't the first time. I'm not going to go into the archive and I could find it. I'm not going to do that. This is not the first time where he's gone in there. He goes into the bathroom and for whatever reason, he wants to live stream it. And there's shit all in the toilet. Just a gang of just shit. And he don't have enough self-awareness to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe I should clean this shit up, literally and figuratively, before I actually go live. He don't even care. And you know why? Because that's how he lives that way. He lives that way. He's filthy. That's y'all's principle. That's the most requested scholar. What do I mean by he lives that way? All right. And it does matter. It really matters. It matters more than I think what people realize. It really, especially going to have your children in this person's care. Absolutely, it matters. Let me do this because I found that other video. There we go. So there's two of them. I'll show it to you guys real quick. I don't know why this other one's not popular. Let me look real quick here. It may be on this drive. Oh, here it is. This is a pattern with Umar.
Strong for mail, send those resumes in. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com.
See this? See all the field?
DMG resume.
See, he lives like this. It doesn't register at all. This is standard for Umar. And this definitely matters because this is a person that people have sent millions of dollars to, literally millions of dollars. And this is the person that they want to entrust their children's safety. I don't get that at all.
At
See this?
gmail.com is what we looking
for. So that's from 2019. That was his last time he had his own residence. He got evicted at the end of that year. And then here's 2023. By this time, he's living inside his mama's closet. He moved in and started moving. He moved a lot of his stuff. He actually moved into the large gym. And so with the vandalism video that he did, that's another example of Umar being filthy and being a hoarder. But here's another video from September 12th of 2023. And I've shown this recently, but I want to show it again.
Tap. Who tapping in next? Who tapping in next? Who tap?
And this is inside of his mama's closet. Let me skip through the part. Here we go. And I'll let it play.
Trying to erase the history, Dr. Umar, but you keep doing your thing, Dr. Umar. You definitely got a lot of good followers out here. Good people.
Appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. All right, now be blessed. Who we got next? Tap it.
Y'all see that? He accidentally flipped his phone again. This is a very small space. It's what I think it is it's I call it a closet, but I think what it is there should be a washer and dryer in there. And so with Umar, there's no washer and dryer. He stuffed all this stuff in there. There's a bag of potatoes in there, literally. And he has clothes and all kinds of other shit in there. And he live streamed. Just like back in the day when he was in his apartment, he would live stream and you would only see the background.
Strong.
And you would think that he's Pan Africanist. Everything kind of looks ordered, at least to a degree, but then he accidentally flips his phone.
FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes.
And you see that he's living in filth. This is a serious issue right here. Well, the point is that when he moved, after he got evicted out of here, when he moves into his mom, he basically starts storing at least some of his stuff there in his mama's closet. And that's what we see right here.
Yeah. Good people.
Appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. All right, now be blessed.
And that's stacked up. I mean, it's up the wall. And then of course you see him live streaming. It looks like, okay, he has this little backdrop, but this is just a very small little spot. But it goes to show you that he has a pattern of this type of behavior. Matter of fact, here's another example I can give you guys. Let me do this.
Peace and I mean, it's the principle.
So if you look on your left, at least on my left, you'll see. Let me get myself off of here. 2019. You'll see. I'll let it play, and I'll mute the audio. 2019. If you look, the gym is not completely clear, but it's clean and clear enough. Okay, it's respectable, if you will. That's in 2019. What Umar does, because in 2019 he gets evicted, he takes all of his personal belongings, at least because he didn't move right into his mama closet. That happened a little bit later on. But he moved all of his personal belongings, or at least a significant amount of it, into this large gym. And so by the time we get to 2025, you see the condition of the gym. Some of that stuff, in all fairness, it's school related, but most of it's Umar stuff. All the books on the ground and all this stuff. This damage is old, years old. The paint is old. There's a film of dust on top of the paint, which means that whenever this vandalism took place, that much time had passed since that time, but Umar tried to act like it was recent in 2025. I mean, this could go back to 2019 to 2020. But see, suitcases, this is all Umar stuff. Pictures, books, picture frames, CDs, DVDs on the ground. You see, just personal stuff. Shoes, the RBG shoe right there, that's Umar. You see at the top there, fitted caps, those are Umar's hats. So he's turned these FDMG bandos into his own personal storage. That's what they are. And same thing with the small gym. The video we covered more recently, we see the same exact thing. But you see the difference? Look on the left. It was clear in there. And you see that TV right there, that big back TV? Well, that's the same big back TV you'll see in this video. See it over there in the background? See? That's the big back TV. You can see it a little bit too right here. Y'all see it? Okay, so this is a pattern of behavior with Umar. I can give you guys another example of that too. In fact, just let me see, because we covered this. This is a recent video. It was the video where Umar, let me see, what was he doing? He was in the small gym. Yeah, I think we covered that not last week, but the week before. Let me see if I have that properly archived. And I don't have it properly archived, but I can pull it up in a minute. Yeah, it's not properly. I have it someplace else. That's why. Yeah, I know where it's at. Let me hold on one second. I think it's on. this in this folder right here. Yeah, I think it's this one. No, 925. No, that can't be it. I don't think this is it. Let me pull it up just in case. But you guys know the video that I'm talking about. Oh, no, this ain't it. Yeah, this ain't it. Okay, anyway. All right, I'm going to find that one and I'll pull it back up in just a minute. Okay, so let's get back to, matter of fact, let's not get back to this part yet. Okay, we'll come back to this in just a moment. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to play this from the beginning. I'm going to try to find that other video and I'm going to do super chats. I'll be right back.
Taking the shit in the toilet, not cleaning up. King Kong. Off the hook. I got the clean, brothers and sisters. I got the clean. The greatest amongst you shall be your servant. The greatest amongst you shall be your servant. The greatest amongst you. I'm going to let this sit for a minute. Then I'm going to come back and clean. That's how we going to do that. Contractor shitting in the toilet, not flushing, not cleaning, splashing.
Hey, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Is this the stuff you was talking about that's for the tape?
Nah, I'll show it to you in a minute. So let me finish this.
I saw it sitting on the winch, so I know.
Nah, you could try it. You could try it. I bought it for that, but that might not be it. The damn bathrooms up. King Kong got to clean up the toilets now. King Kong got to clean up the toilets. We're just gonna put all this in here. We got to do what we got to do. That ain't the one. What is it here? Flushed anyway. So that means flushed anyway. Yeah. You Negroes are so weak-backed. Y'all complain over everything, cry over everything. Somebody got tissue in the toilet, didn't even flush it.
Oh,
contractors, brothers and sisters, these are brand new toilets.
Those are not contractors doing that, Umar. Why aren't the toilets being flushed? I apologize. Trigger warning, everyone. Let me let this play a little bit more. I'm trying to find this other video. I'll be right back.
Brand new toilets, and this is what they do. Brand new
what is he
toilets,
pouring in
and this
there?
is what they do.
And then he uses his foot. What in? Oh my God! Oh my God! What in the world? This has to stop. This is not acceptable. Can we pause off of that for a moment? Let's pause off of that for a moment, y'all. Just let me pull this other video up. I found it, but it wouldn't let me pull it up because I had too many videos inside of the browser. Let me find this. Just be patient, okay? Because I had it. Let me find it. I can't right now with the other stuff. We'll get through it again. We'll go through it real quickly at some point. But let's take a little break off of the dookie. Let's take a little break off of the dookie sabotage. These damn contractors. Out of all the sabotage they're gonna do the dookie sabotage. The dookie tie. One day in the distant future, they're gonna have they're gonna do a Netflix special on Umar, and it's gonna call Dookie Gate. In 2025. After many years of struggle and strife. It was in October of 2025, close to Halloween. Umar Johnson, the most requested scholar, faced his biggest opponent yet. It wasn't LenonHonor. It was not the Cookie Crush chat. It was not cooking chitterlings. It was Dookie Gate. These black contractors, they shit it. All right. All right. The Dookie goes. You say you wild with that one. You wild. Say you wild with that one. The Dookie goon. He was faced with the Dookie goons. There was 5 of them. There was a short one. There was a tall one. There was a skinny one. There was a plump one. I don't want to say fat. There was a plump one. All right. You wow for that. You wow for that. All right. Let me get up out of here. Shout out to Denny with the help. What in the mud butt madness? Oh no. Oh man, let me get out this chat room. Yeah, Dookie Taj. But you know Umar, because he's so sedated, is a Dookie Taj. You know, you get to go, you start making more money, you stop going to Walmart, you go to Target. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Target. All right, let me get out of here. I'll go get out this chat room because we done got blown off big time. Woo. Umar Johnson, the Dookie Slayer. If you got Dookie in your let me stop. Let me not do that. That's too much. All right, let me get out of here. All right. Oh man, I can't wait to come back and watch this and just be in this chat room because it's gonna be so much. Okay. Now what were we doing? Oh, okay, yeah. So I just want to give another example of Umar. So I showed you this gem right here. It's a side-by-side comparison. You can see this is the large gem, what it looked like back in 2019. Let me take myself off of here. And then you can see what it looks like in 2025. Obviously, it's filthy. And part of it is that Umar, he used it he turned it into his own personal storage. This is the large gem, right? By the way, he didn't show this large gem again since, I want to say 2019. So it was close to it was over 5 years. You see all this filth and stuff? He didn't want to show it because all of this was sitting in there. We were always asking, why doesn't he show the large gem? Why doesn't he show the large gem? And this is the reason why. Because he had been storing his stuff in there, and someone obviously came through and vandalized. Some people were saying it was probably Umar. I mean, it could have been, but I don't think so. See all these books? These are all of his books. I want to point something out too in the background that a lot of people miss when we watch this. I think it's a huge indicator of Umar in the hoarding. These are all his clothes and bags, trash bags. Let me see if this part comes up. That's Tiff the Griff right there. Yeah, a lot of these people aren't around anymore. for obvious reasons. It's like what I was talking about at the beginning of this live stream. A lot of people are just fed up with all the foolishness, and there's always something. I mean, the toilet situation is troubling in and of itself. Yeah, I think I edited that part out where it shows the back. No, here it is right here. Look in the background of this shot right here. You see all that filth stacked up against the wall, all the way up the wall? That none of that was there. It actually looks like just a bunch of trash. Y'all see that back there? None of that was there back in 2019. So Umar turned this into, it's like his own little personal storage, and there's trash and all kinds of stuff inside of here. Okay, so let me go back. I want to go back now to the video that Umar, this is the video Umar from 2021. I want you to see the small gym. Okay, watch this. It was cleared out. You know, he had just got the floors buffed. Obviously, we talked about that. See the bumps and the ridges in the ground. There's issues with the flooring. There could also be foundational issues, because part of what the issue was in here was that there was water that was seeping up through this pipe, and it would flood in here. And Umar didn't get it corrected. It was probably flooding even before he purchased these trap bandos. Look all the way in the background, you can see black mold growing up the wall. They actually referenced that when they were actually cleaning this. But there's a lot of issues just in this gym. But you see how it's clear? Okay, this is from, again, 2021.
Just wanted to show y'all, my donors and loyal supporters. We just got the gym floor power washed, polished.
Okay, so that's 2021. Now let's go to the video from earlier this month. There was the first of this month, October 1st of 2025. Let's take a look.
Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifatunde Oguntade, coming to you live and direct from the John Jacques Dessalines Prophet Nat Turner Gymnasium, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. I want to say good Garvey Day to my continental Africans, my South.
Let me mute his I'll mute the audio, because I just want to point out, you see the floor, it's there's a white film on top of it. It's totally different than what it was before. There's that ridge again. Okay, you see that ridge in the floor? Well, that's the same ridge you see right here. See it right there? The difference is he has a lot of trash and filth in here now. He's turned into his own personal storage and trash and stuff. There's other stuff that he's moved in here. None of this was in here 4 years ago, but it's in there now. See that? So that's why the whole issue with the toilet, it's symptomatic of a deeper issue. Umar has some serious issues when it comes to hoarding, and he's not cleanly. He doesn't, he stores stuff here and there, stacks stuff on top of each other. He's not organized. I've been telling people that for years. And then people think that somehow he's going to open up a school. No, he's turned these abandoned buildings into his own personal storage. Now, this is the evidence shows that it proves that. Okay, this is not me making anything up or spinning a false narrative. It's not my opinion. This is a statement of fact, right? Okay, so I just want to point those things out as we get back into the main video for today, just to kind of give a little bit more context. Okay, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to do some super chats. I'm going to do as many as I can before we get back into them. I'm going to go backwards too, because there's been some of these are quite old. I'm going to go backwards. I'll go for the more recent one. So this is from Fresh Face. Says rent a porta potty, Umar. Hashtag no glove, no love at FDMG Career Production. How to be a plumber for a day. Now, let me say this, that you would think, well, there's two things. You would think that if Umar had people coming in there to do renovations, even before he got water turned on, that there would have been a porta potty. And there would also have been permits posted on the doors of these buildings, at the very least. Did we ever see any of that? There were porta potties from what I remember for the block parties. But in terms of porta, because again, Umar, evidently, based on what he's saying, he's been renovating since 2020. Okay, have we seen 5.5 years worth of porta potties being out there with permits posted on the doors, and we've seen people working? Furthermore, if he had these contractors coming through and he didn't want them using the bathroom, then just tell them not to use the bathroom and provide them with a porta potty. Did he do that? No, because it wasn't the contractors. Contractors aren't going to come in and take a shit and leave it in there and then come back and take another shit and leave it in there, because that's what it is. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, especially to you women. I apologize. But you guys see my point? They're not going to do that. Either Umar's doing that or the homies that come through to the kicking spot, they're doing it, or both of them, all of them doing it. Okay? It's not the contractors. See, it wouldn't even make sense. Why would you come in and poop and then leave it in there, and you're going to be working in there? And then you're going to come back. Y'all, come on now. And you're going to leave it. Who knows how it smells? Let me stop. Anyway, no, there's no porta potty, no gloves. Furthermore, you don't see him. He doesn't have any scrubbers. He doesn't have any wash rags or rags. None of that stuff. He's using his foot to close or open it to whatever he was doing. Don't make no sense. Thank you, Fresh Face, for the super chat. Dookie Tante. Yeah, I got that one earlier. Thank you for being a member. And we have hundreds of videos for members too, by the way. User 225, how's it going? So this stream grosser than any. Okay, all right, here we go. There we go. Down right there. Send your kids to use this facility if you are. Yeah. See, people think about that. If Umar can't even manage bathrooms, why y'all think that somehow he's going to be able to manage and take care of your children? If he can't manage his own mama's closet, why would y'all think he's going to be able to open up a whole school? 2 schools, according to him. If Umar he don't even know how to clean toilets properly. What y'all think? How y'all think that somehow he's going to be able to teach your kids anything? I don't get that. I don't get it. See, when I was in college the first time, after I finished my second year, I stayed on campus and worked as a janitor, cleaning toilets, cleaning out bathtubs, because that way I didn't have to go home. I didn't go back to San Diego. I got to stay on campus, and they gave me a reduced price for it. They should have given it to us for free, but it was a reduced price for rent while I was working and until school started. Umar, he don't know how to clean up. I can tell. I was good. I used to have them bathrooms looking spectacular. Yeah. Anyway, it just doesn't make any sense. It's basic, things that a person should know how to do. Umar, he just doesn't know how to do. Okay. So the question really at this point, Slim Shahid, the question becomes, well, why is Umar doing this? Because it looks foolish. Well, I'm going to tell you, I already know it's because he wants to give the illusion of progress so he gets money out of people. It's that simple. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. And also, thanks you to 225. Michael says, in a lot of these videos, Umar looks unhappy or uninterested when speaking to people. What do you think Umar is going through? Does he feel trapped? Yeah, I think he's felt trapped for a long time, for many years. I think he felt trapped before he even acquired these abandoned buildings. You remember, people, that Umar stated in 2010 that the school was going to open in 2013. So this lie has been going on for a very long time. That's over 15 years right there. And furthermore, even when he started, allegedly, when he says he started raising money it's really raising money for St. Paul. He was raising money for FDMG and FDMG related projects prior to 2014. He ain't gonna tell people that. 2014 for the St. Paul school scam, he was trapped back then because he didn't know what he was doing. He still doesn't know what he was doing. So think about this, Michael. If he doesn't know how to clean toilets, or he hasn't been able to figure out how to open one room and on either side of the street over the last 6.5 years, how was he going to open up a whole college campus in 2014? Because it was a college campus that he was going to convert into a boarding school. How's he going to do that? He was trapped, totally incompetent. But the money, that's what it all came down to. He knew that this would be the best way to get the most amount of money in the shortest period of time. And he's been doing this now. It's been 15 years. So yeah, I think he feels trapped. I think that for Umar, he knows that it's a money pit. It's a money pit because he could have gotten something a lot smaller and just built it up from the ground up, and with no need to really renovate. And y'all think about it. If Umar just took the taxes that he paid of $172,931.86, and then just leased a small building, could be one floor, with, I don't know, 4 classrooms, 3 classrooms, and a little couple of office space, something like that. He could have stretched out that just at $172,931. You can throw in the purchase price for these trap bandos of $400,000 at bare minimum, according to Umar. And you throw in the taxes, well, that's $572,000. You don't think he could have found something small and then use that capital to finance, whatever. In fact, he could have, out of all the money that Umar's wasted, he's had more than enough money to run a school for a year with faculty and staff. It doesn't have to be big, all these classrooms, all this stuff. So yeah, he's trapped. I think he's unhappy. He's been unhappy anyway. I think he just has a negative disposition towards life and towards his own life. I'm talking about his real life, not what he plays out online. I think more recently, especially when Lenon comes out, a lot of the real stuff is starting to come out more. His daughter came out too. More of it, the real stuff starts to come out. And people are waking up that he's a charlatan. He ain't the only one, because there's other people too that were supporters of Umar, and they would do all kind of critics. That's what I was talking about earlier, how it's a lot easier these days to criticize Umar, because there were people back in the day who were stout Umar Johnson followers and defenders. And they were online living out these fantasies and trying to act like they big time and boss and all this other stuff. But behind the scenes, there was all types of stuff going on. And even more recently, and I don't want to speak on it because I feel bad, but for the guy, but what he's going through. But that's all indicative of the same thing with Umar, that he's unhappy. He's disinterested in his quote unquote career as a school psychologist. He's not even a school psychologist. So he hasn't been since 2011, 2010, 2011. So Umar pretends to be all these things. Meanwhile, his life is deteriorating. He's ruined his career, so forth and so on. And so now he's in a position at this point where he's totally unhappy. I think that when Umar mentions FDMG, I don't think he gets a good feeling. I think he doesn't want people to talk about it. I don't think he wants people. I don't even think he wants to be up in here cleaning toilets. I mean, who would want to be in here cleaning toilets after 6.5 years collected millions of dollars? But see, that's his crux. Okay. In other words, and I told Umar a long time ago, he has to let it go, because that's the biggest monkey on his back. And there's a whole bunch of them on his back, but that's the biggest one. It weighs him down. He's never going to progress in life if he's going to maintain his commitment to this fallacy. Okay? I was thinking about this today. If you're online and you're creating content, and even Umar as a quote unquote social media influencer, if doing those things does not enrich your personal life, then you shouldn't be doing those things. Now, if those things enrich your personal life, then it makes sense to do those things, as long as it's honorable, right? And you're not out here just trying to harm people and cause harm to people. Well, that's not what we see with Umar. What we see with Umar is that everything that he's done online has actually contributed to the destruction of his own personal life, including his career. But that goes back a long time ago. That goes back a very long time. Anyway, I think that Umar, he's unhappy. He's disinterested. I think he's also disinterested in actually this idea of opening up a school. He doesn't have the same fervor that he had back. I don't even think fervor is the word. Enthusiasm. He doesn't have the same enthusiasm as he had before. Well, that's because it all catches up to you in the end. Like I said, if your personal life deteriorates as a consequence of you being online and whatever it is that you're doing online, because there's always an opportunity cost, then you shouldn't be online. And Umar and I told him a long time ago, what he should do is give up the school scam, apologize to the people, whatever money he has left, issue it out to whoever he can, the donors. Okay, I know that's difficult because he's living PayPal to PayPal at this point, living off of the people. But it would be a heavy weight that would be lifted off his shoulder. And there's other things that he could do that are honorable, that he could do where he can generate income and live a decent life. Okay? But he has other issues that he's coping with and dealing with it makes it's easier for him to do this, at least in his own mind. He thinks that it's easier for him to continue to do this than to recognize that there's another way. There's another path that he can take. And I know what that path is. I wish I could help him. And I've tried to through my criticism, offer him gems every once in a while, but he's hard-headed. He don't listen. Thanks, Michael, for the super chat. I appreciate it. A Secure That Bag production. I like that name. Says, who's using toilets in the abandoned buildings and why are they a priority? Yeah, so there's two questions. Who's using it? And I asked this question earlier. Who's using the toilets? Why would he need to be, after 6.5 years, cleaning these toilets? And it's not just that they're using them. Obviously, they're not flushing them. But why aren't they flushing them? Who's up in there? If you're in there, Umar, why aren't you flushing these toilets? Maybe because you don't want to pay the water bill. And we already know about that. Hit the one. Remember the city of Wilmington that's now sabotaged, right? Y'all remember this? You see how all this connects? So listen, Umar, it's not the black contractors, because the black contractor, all you got to do is hit the thing to flush the toilet. That only take you about 2 seconds. So why aren't the toilets being flushed unless you in there and you shitting and you don't want to waste no water? I wouldn't be surprised by that because you're filthy. That's what the evidence shows. That's not speculation. That's not hyperbole. You're filthy. So yeah, I can see, and this ain't the first time. I can go back to old videos where there's shit in the toilet. Who lives like that? So again, who's in there? And then furthermore, why is this a priority at this point? Well, listen, I thought about this. Like, why? See, this is what I mean, and this gets back to what Michael brought up. That Umar, he's backed himself up into such a claustrophobic corner that he doesn't have much wiggle room at this point. See, back in the day, he can throw a block party, people get excited. He can do a paint day, people get excited. But you can only do that type of shit for a certain amount of time. And at a certain point, people don't get excited about it anymore. So the money doesn't come in. And Umar knows this because he can tell based upon how the money's coming in. Right? He can say, I'm gonna, I don't know what else. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff he said he was going to do. You know, we're gonna have this conference here and this conference there, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna have black Kawans at the school, and we're gonna do this. None of it comes into fruit. We're gonna have a black speaking vegan sports bar. We're gonna have a black farm with black pigs. I kid you not. We're going to teach your boys how to float ships and fly helicopters and fly airplanes. We're going to have an aeronautical academy and aeronautical, whatever he said. One time he said we're going to have not the Buffalo Soldiers, but the one that be flying the plane. Maybe he did say not the Buffalo Soldiers, but they're going to teach the boys how to. He said he was in contact with them, the Tuskegee Airmen. That's wow. Umar, wow. The Tuskegee Airmen, he was in contact with them. They were going to teach the boys how to fly airplanes. That's what he said. See, now, back then, that's what I'm saying. It's easier to criticize Umar these days. But back then, Black Anonymous, you remember, Information Band, you remember, it was difficult because there were people who would eat this up. They would buy into this. We're going to have black vegan sports bar with 3 levels, and we're going to put an observatory on the roof. We're going to have a state-of-the-art music studio. So he would say that people would get excited. Well, these days, he's back. And every time he does that, he's backing up. Every time he does that, he's back because he's backing himself further and further up into a corner. Y'all all up in my legs now. I'm just playing. But every time he back himself up into a corner, and he's done it for so many years that he doesn't have much wiggle room. See, and like I said, that's one of the reasons why he's so unhappy at this point. So there's only so much that he can do in order to get people excited again. And so what has happened is that he has to scrape further and further, deeper down into this barrel. And at this point, he's at the bottom of the barrel. So that's why cleaning shitty toilets is a priority for Umar a couple of days ago. See, that's what I'm saying when we talk about rock bottom. If he's not there, he's very close. This makes sense? And there's all types of other things we can think about that Umar has done in the past to try to get people to send him money, where he's scraping at the bottom of the barrel, including, that Lenon and we hacked his bank account. Whatever happened to all of that, and the sabotage, and he needs to check. I got to check the camera footage. Did he ever do that? Whatever happened to that? That was all to get money because he said he needed a legal team and all this other stuff. So that's why he's scraping at the bottom of the barrel at this point. Right? Thanks to Secure the Bag production. I'm supposed to be doing these quick. I'm running my mouth. Let me see here. The Prince of Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, I remember. Why you got that picture? Let me get that off there. You tripping. It says Zaire TV. Don't let Umar watch this right now. He's not pleased, although he probably is. All right. Thank you, Zaire TV. FDMG serving up students doo-doos. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Thank you for the super chat. Everyone else too, thank you for the super chat. What's up? Formerly AK says, I actually applaud Umar for picking up shit. He's getting ready for his jail job. Yeah, inevitably, Umar is going to have to face some serious consequences, inevitably. That's why I think that some people, they kind of get it twisted. That, they get online and they think that they're invincible. I think probably the most dangerous type of people online are the ones who believe that they're doing good but they're actually engaging in evil. And and I'm serious about this. This is a huge lesson I've learned, because there's people, they think that they're actually doing good. I actually think that Umar, on some level in his delusional world, he thinks that all this is good. And I think he's been doing it I'm saying I think that he's been doing it for such a long time that it doesn't even register in his mind that it's wrong. And see, if you engage in it long enough, and it's only a matter of time. I've seen this. Listen, I've been online for a long time, but I've been an Umar critic for a very long time. And I've watched people come and go, a lot of people come and go, critics and supporters. The thing that I realize is that no one is exempt from karma. And I think Umar, in his own mind, his own twisted reality, he believes that he's doing good so that he's not going to be subject to any type of negative consequence. But the truth is that he's living out the negative consequence every single day. It's just he's been living this way for such a long time, and he thinks that it's good. There's nothing good about it. So at some point, he's going to have to face some serious consequences. Okay. And I think he already is, to be honest with you, because if you have to reduce yourself at the age of, as a man, at the age of 50, or a woman for that matter, at the age of 50, 51, to cleaning out shitty toilets, that's a consequence in and of itself. And see, Umar, he doesn't post it. He takes it off. He doesn't archive it on his Instagram page, but someone had screenshot it or recorded it because people were going in on Umar. And so he recognized that. So why should I keep that up? Anyway, thank you, formerly a.k.a. King Ricky, what's up? Says, remember those buckets he found outside? I always thought that that was his mess, just like them toilets. Also, what if he drops his phone? And I know that'd be horrible. That's another thing. I didn't even think about it. While he's cleaning these toilets, he's holding the phone at the same time. Who does that? And then he thinks that it's a good to be doing that. It's not. There's nothing good about this. There's nothing good that's going to come. But that's what I'm saying, the twisted mentality. But why would you be cleaning these nasty toilets while you're holding a phone? I mean, I wouldn't even have my phone up in that bathroom. Real talk. That's just me, though. I wouldn't do it. With them nasty toilets, no, I wouldn't do it. So on one hand, I get what you're saying in terms of, even him having his phone recording at the same time while he's cleaning his toilet. But a lot of people, you guys may not be aware. Some of you guys may have seen the videos where Umar, he went up there and there was a toilet up there, up the steps, because there were homeless people and stuff, and they were using that. There was a bucket up there, and they were using that bucket as a toilet. You guys remember that hit the one? Just gross. But it just goes to show you, Umar, he's never secured the buildings. He's erected more fencing. But this is so farther along in this process. That's what I told. So one of the first things I told Umar that he needed to do was to erect fences to secure the property. That was back in 2019. Well, he's finally doing it in 2025. Anyway, those buckets wouldn't have been up there if the buildings were secure, and whatever was in those buckets wouldn't have been in those buckets, if you guys catch my drift, if those buildings were secure. So all this is a consequence of Umar's either actions or inaction. All right. Thank you, King Ricky. I remember that. Okay, Zaire TV says, NGL, y'all, I took a shit. No, you didn't. At FDMG Academy. Yes, I admit it. Shit it and didn't flush. You're welcome. No, you did. Why you got to have these women on there? What does NGL mean? Let me see. I hope it ain't nothing crazy. Oh, not gonna lie. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know the different emojis. I know LOL and that kind of stuff, but NGL, okay, I got it. I'm learning something every single day. Now, I already forgot what it meant. Let me look it up again. Oh, not gonna lie. All right, I'll remember it from now on, okay? I'm not NGL, all right. Thank you, Zaire TV. You better hope Umar don't see your picture right there. Thank you for the super chat. How's it going, Kiara? Kiara says, Lenon, sing somebody shit on. No, I'm not gonna sing it because it's too much. It's too much of the dookie talk during this live stream. It's just too much. Somebody in my toilet. Was it you? Somebody in my toilet. Was it you? Yeah. Somebody on my toilet. Was it you? Somebody jizzle in my toilet. Was it you? Was it you? Yeah. Was it you? Yeah. Was it you? Yeah, was it you? Was it you? Yeah. Hey, that's like that. Was it you? Yeah. Was it you? Yeah. Was it you? Well, we know who it was now. It was the contractors. I forgot about that song. I forgot about that part. Was it you? 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 Okay. I did it even though I said we would. Thank you, Carol, for the chat. What's up, Yana? Says Umar should be sued for being such a deadbeat hypocrite. Okay. That was quick and to the point. Thank you, Yana. Hope you're doing all right. Bonji Baby says he had his phone in hand while cleaning his toilet because he don't clean at home. He wouldn't know anything about that. Yeah, that's clear. I talked about this too. That was, I don't even know if it's interesting. It's kind of sad. It's more tragic than anything else. Remember, Umar went to military academy, and their regiment. It's very strict. You wake up at a particular time. You have to be clean. You have to be tidy. Your pants have to be ironed in a particular way. Your shirt has to be ironed in a particular way. Your boots, your shoes, all that stuff have to be, what do they call that? Where they would, I can't even remember what that's called. You guys know what I'm talking about. Where they I can't even remember what it's called. Shine them up, but they would put the thing on it. You know what I'm talking about? So there's all this stuff. You eat at a particular time, all this stuff. Everything is regimented. But I have a sense that didn't translate for Umar once he got into college. In fact, he didn't have the discipline, so they provided the discipline for him. Yeah, spit shine, shoe shine. That's what it is. Thank you so much. Yeah, boy, I'm getting old. I can't be. I don't remember dates like I used to. I can't remember stuff. Oh, I tell you, about to be 50. My goodness. Thank the Lord though too at the same time. Okay. But they imposed discipline on him. It didn't for whatever reason, and I don't think he had it before he went in. That's probably one of the reasons why his daddy sent him. But once he gets out and he goes to college, I think that because the regimen wasn't there and the discipline wasn't, I'm talking about his own personal discipline. He didn't have anyone else checking him and to keep him in line. I think he got up in there and he went buck wild, and all of the dysfunction that was there that was kind of mitigated, at least to a degree, while he was in the military academy, all that began to flow and come out. And then here we are now, he's 51 and we still see it to this day. It's gotten worse and worse. So that's what I think. Right. And furthermore, you can look at what Lene talked about in terms of his living conditions, living inside with his mama, but also you can look at his apartment when he's living there. But you can also look at the general condition of these abandoned buildings and what he has turned these buildings into his own personal storage. But instead of having this be, and he shouldn't have done that, but if you're going to do something like that, at least be orderly about it. Everything should be organized. You know, today I went and I got rid of this cabinet because I need this whole area up against this wall I ain't gonna tell y'all, but I need this cleared out. I have my desk here too, but I had to go and get, because I got rid of this cabinet that I bought. I really shouldn't have bought it, but it was really nice. I still have it, but I'm going to get rid of it. It's just in the garage. And I went and I got these little totes and these bins. I'm going to put everything that was in there that was inside the closet, it's a standing closet. Put it inside of these. And it's all neat. It's going to be all organized. And there's reasons for this. You guys will see soon enough. But the point is that it would have been different if he approached this as an opportunity to organize not only his personal belongings, but he should also have organized his life. Again, if you have 6.5 years, you've collected millions of dollars, there's no reason why things should be the way that they are at these abandoned buildings. Furthermore, they shouldn't be this way in his life either. This makes sense? See, but what it comes down to is that he doesn't know these basic things, or he doesn't care to do these basic things, which stuff like, keeping yourself clean, cleaning up the toilet, cleaning up the bathroom, cleaning up the kitchen, cleaning up the living room, cleaning yourself up, looking presentable, so forth and so on. Look, before I do these live streams, I get dressed, I take a shower, I get dressed. After I do a live stream, I take a shower. It's about order. I know we get blowed off, but I have an order. I know what we're going to get into. Okay, we get all crazy. I get it, but I always try to bring it back. There's order there. See, I have my list. I have a list of things for the day that I got to get done. I write it down towards the beginning of the day. I check off as I go through the day and get stuff done. Umar doesn't have that. And the state of these buildings after 6.5 years collecting millions of dollars, that's indicative of that. But furthermore, the fact that he's up in there cleaning these toilets, the toilets shouldn't look, let me just be clear. We get going here. The toilets, there's no reason why these toilets should look like this in the first place. There's no reason. Can anyone in the Cookie Crush chat, even you Umar Johnson followers, can you give me one reason? Give me one reason to legitimize these bathrooms looking like this. And then Umar doesn't have the self-awareness to say, maybe I shouldn't be live streaming this. But he needs the money. Can anyone give me one? A legitimate reason? You guys, you guys don't do that. What's up, East B? You guys tripping. Nelson said, pooping forever, diarrhea never. Diarrhea never. You guys, come on, I'm trying to be serious. Come on now. Someone said he lives there. Okay, but that's not a legitimate reason. Something, even if you live there, keep them clean. You see what I'm saying? All right, let me stop. Let me get out this. See, I try to be serious, but then I look at the chat room. Oh my God. There we go again. So it's a Taco Bell. Yeah, that'll do it to you. Okay, let me get out this chat room. All right, thank you, Bonji, baby. Well, I was really trying to be serious. Okay, Phoebe says this man is a special case. I think he is. I think he's a case study. He's a special case, and in my mind, there's no reason for these toilets to look like this, but really, in my mind, there's no legitimate reason with all of the resources that Umar Johnson has acquired over the years. I mean this sincerely, and all of the support that he's received, because it's not just the financial support; it's all of his followers and so forth and so on. There's no legitimate reason for Umar to be in this position in life. He could have decided in 2020 to say, "Hey, this isn't working," because it wasn't working, and let it go. And start to focus on his personal life. Remember, I was talking about this, that again, if you're online, and in particular, if you're a content creator or a social media influencer and you're doing dirty, doing people dirty and causing all kind of strife and struggle in people, and I've seen people do it. I've seen so many people come and go. It's going to impact your personal life at a certain point. And if your personal life isn't being impacted in a positive way and it's going in a negative direction, then it's time to shut things down. So the point that I'm making is that Umar, even in 2020, he could have told himself, hey, listen, this isn't working, because it wasn't working. It's still not working today. And he could have started to focus on his personal life. And then by the time he gets to 2025, he's not up in here scrubbing toilets to beg for money. That's really what this comes down to. You guys see what I'm saying? Because that's a long time. He's been at this for a long time, but specifically with the FDMG in Wilmington, once he acquired them, it's almost 7 years. That's more than enough time to get things corrected in your life to get back on track. But with Umar, what we've seen is he's gotten worse and worse. So what does that tell you? I mean, this is a lesson for everybody, because I really want Umar. I want the best for Umar, but he has a lot of work that he needs to engage in, personal work. And there's a lot of apologies that he needs to make too. And then he has to stop living this type of a lifestyle in order to have the mental space and even the physical space to start to get things correct in his life. And that's what I want for him. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it is. I think he's so used to this. And that's why I'm saying he's a special case. See, we all should figure it out at some point. I know when my rock bottom was, I think about it from time to time. I've been thinking about it a lot recently because I'm almost 50. I know what my rock bottom was, and I made a commitment back then that, okay, that's it. I got to figure out the path. I got to figure out a plan. I got to work my plan, and I got to stay on my plan. And that's what I've been doing ever since. And things have changed significantly, but it took a lot of work, and y'all support too. Thank you so much. Good Crush chat. Patience with my wife being patient with me, my children being patient with me. It can be done. It can be done. But for whatever reason, Umar, he's decided to continue to live this self-destructive life. It's unbecoming. See, now I wish he would have listened to me back in 2020. You know. Anyway, thank you, Phoebe, for the super chat. What's up, Lene says schizophrenic symptoms. He checks every box. Yeah, we talked about this before, but even if Umar, and clearly he does have some mental health issues, many of us do. Okay, it's just different tiers. But like I have, like I'm hyper vigilant. You know, I worry a lot. I worry a lot about my kids. I worry a lot about my wife. We were talking about this today, and it really gets to me. And there's no legitimate reason, especially when they go back to school. Like I'll just be, you know, and if something happens, I'm up there. You know, my daughter, she texts me, so I said, okay, I'm on my way. You know, she said, it's not that serious. I said, okay, I'll be calm down. And I was talking to my wife, because I've been figuring this out. A lot of it has to do with when I was the environment that I was raised in. It was an abusive environment, physically and verbally. You know, my father was abusive to my mom. He was abusive to all of us. But I've seen some very heinous things. It's really heinous. Like you just don't think that people would do those types of things to another human being, let alone to anybody. I just don't get that. But it was what it was. But as a consequence, the anxiety kicks in, and you always think, because you never know, that something bad is going to happen because bad things were happening consistently. You guys understand, as a child. So I still hold some of that to this day, and I'm still working through those issues. You know, so when I wonder, well, okay, wait a minute, why am I getting all, you know, having all this anxiety about this or about that? And there's nothing that's going to happen, but I'm thinking that it is. You know, well, a lot of it can be traced back to what I experienced as a child. So what I'm getting at is that even as an adult, we have to go through the process of rectifying those issues to the best of our ability. Some things stay with us forever. That's very clear to me. But we can become more functional as we work through these issues and heal enough to become more functional in life. The point that I want to get to, Lene, is that with Umar, even if it was the case that he was schizophrenic, whatever the case may be, it's still not a justification for him to be at the age of 51 scrubbing shitty toilets. Because with all of the money that he has received and with all his support base, a lot of people support him, there's no reason for him not to have gone and got the psychological service that he needed in order to at least get some of this mitigated. You see what I'm saying? Where he's not at the age of 51 scrubbing shitty toilets. There's lessons that we can all learn from Umar, you know. Yeah, he does. He needs help, but it's not money. That's not what he needs. A lot of people think that it's money, but it's not. And a lot of people think that money is the solution, and that if you get all this money, that somehow it's going to solve everything. Life don't work like that. But even still, with all of the money that Umar has raised, he could have put himself in a position back in 2020, 2019, 2018 to get the psychological services, mental health services that he needed to get himself right in the mind. And then he can live a more fruitful life and be more functional. But he chose the dark side. All right. So it is what it is. Thank you, Lene. Shout out to Lene, too, because she played a huge role in what has happened with the Umar Johnson saga this year. I'll propose to Lene. That's my uncle. He texted me earlier. I ain't heard from him in a long time. I was texting him back. So I'll call him when I get done. He's one of the uncles that helped when my dad went off the deep end. He's one of the uncles that kind of guided me and my brother. So I have a lot of respect for my uncles. Some of them, they was wild back, but they stepped up. So I appreciate that. But I want to give a shout out to Lene for what she did earlier this year, because it really opened things up. And I would propose to Lene that your courage, it actually spurred more people to be critics of Umar that weren't critics before. They weren't talking about Umar prior to Lene. See, I'm big on timelines. I saw how all this year, I've seen all of it. Same thing with Sister Marianne. So again, you guys, your role in all of this is significant. Same thing with Brother Muhammad. Same thing with Information Man. Yeah, I've seen this play itself out. And so thank you, Lene, for what you did, because it made a huge difference. It opened it up. Okay, thank you so much. All right, there's a whole lot more super chats, but before we do that, let's get back to the main video. Let's go like maybe about 10 minutes into the main video, 10 more minutes, and then I'll get to some more of these super chats. We'll get caught up at some point. I'm so behind. Thank you guys for being patient. Thanks to everyone who sent the super chats and everyone who sent the super chats earlier that I haven't got to. I'm gonna get to you. I promise. I'm gonna get to you. Real quick, let me go and look at where we're at with this poll. There's 1,713 votes, Is cleaning toilets in an abandoned building indicative of real progress? 86% said no, 14% said yes. Okay. And as of right now, let me see where we're at with the likes. We're at 850. My goodness. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. We went way over the 500. I thank you guys. 851. If at any point you're enjoying this show, go on and hit that like button. We got 1,760 people in the building. Cookie Crush chat is undefeated. Okay, let's get back to the main video for today so we can make a little progress. And I got to rewind it because I wasn't paying attention when we were watching. Here we go.
That mean flushed anyone.
Yeah, see, this is what Lenon was talking about, how this is like hoarder behavior too. And it's not organized, because you really should have this, instead of all of it sitting inside of a box, he should have purchased like a, because I was going to get one today. He should have purchased a racking, you know, and then everything be set up on that racking, because there's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done, but he's not orderly and organized in that way. So that's another example. But Lenon was talking about this, how stuff was inside of at his mama house.
So that means flushed.
Yeah. See, it reminds me when he went shopping for cleaning supplies. So he has to, he don't know what, even at this point, when you look at this video, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's trying to figure it out. See, whenever you hear Umar do that, do, or shoot, when he's doing that, that's him trying to figure things out. And he's not quite sure of himself.
You Negroes are so weak-backed.
See, they're going in on him in this chat room.
Y'all complain over.
Someone said you're supposed to spray it around the rim. Yeah, he was pouring it on the rim.
But everything, cry over everything.
Why is there trash and stuff on the ground, though? That don't make no sense. That looks like the ceiling tile right there, or bits of it.
Somebody got tissue in the toilet, didn't even flush it.
Okay, I'm just gonna let this play.
Contractors, brothers and sisters, these are
no, that's not contractors. Cut it out.
Brand new toilets. Brand new toilets, and this is what they do.
I'm sorry, people. Let me let this get through this, and then
brand
I just
new
have
toilets,
to
and this is what they do.
And then he uses his foot.
Off the.
All right, listen. The feces is dried up on the sides of the toilet bowl. And then you have where there's a little bit of water left because it's been sitting in there for such a long time. Because water evaporates. That's where you see the dookie. I just want people to think about that. That doesn't happen because a contractor dookie yesterday and it's been sitting. No, this dookie has been sitting, who knows for how long, and the smell must be egregious. But I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's keep going. Look at the comments in this chat room. Oh my God! Someone said, "What's wrong with you?" That's not how you clean toilets. Oh my!
What the fuck? That don't even belong in the toilet. That don't even belong in the toilet. I gotta put my gloves on. That don't even.
I need a break, y'all. Who's in there? Yeah. Sweet D. Now he needs to go put some clothes, go put some gloves on. Nothing new about them damn toilets. Knock it up. Yeah, this isn't anything new. That's what I'm saying. That stuff's been sitting there for who knows how long. He knows it. He knows it's been sitting in there. There's nothing new going on in here. At the very least, even if he didn't go into the bathrooms, which I highly doubt, before doing it, he would smell it. There's no ventilation. Boy, that's crazy. That's so crazy. Some of y'all go in there, and you try to get out of there quick, don't you? I'm talking. I'm really talking. I'm projecting. I have to be honest with the Cookie Crush. I'm always honest with you guys. Okay, I have to get out of there quick. Not every time, but I know the times, right? Okay, so if you can imagine one of them type of scenarios happens, well, what if you just leave it in there for a day or two? I'm sorry, a week or a month? Can you imagine what it must smell? Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. That's right. They used to call me Donkey Kong back in the day because I dropped bombs. All right. They used to call me DJ Dookie. They used to call me Big Poop. Let me stop. All right. They didn't call me Big Papa. They call me Big Poo-Poo. All right. Anyway, we have to laugh at this so that we can continue to get through this. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot to go through. How we doing on time? We're going to probably get to about a third of this video, and then we'll finish it up tomorrow, hopefully. All right. Yeah. Umar, he's going to blame the contractors. Umar's always the victim. It's sabotage. The Dookie sabotage. Okay? So he has to blame someone. He can't say, hey, listen, I took a couple of shits. I didn't flush the toilet because I want to save water. I left it in there for a couple of months. Oh my God. I left it in there for a couple of months, family, and now I need to clean it up. But you know what? It's the black contractors. Okay. All right. Let me well, this show's off the hook. Yeah, they used to call me the Duke of Duke. Duke of Duke. All right. I can't wait to watch this on the replay. They call me Dookie Kong. Y'all remember Donkey Kong? That was my game. I didn't really like that game that much, but it was cool. All right. Black Dookies forever. I said, I got to say it 3 times. All right, shout out to Lady Luck. All right, let's get back to it. Matter of fact, let me make sure I got to all these other super chats right quick. Hold on one second. I still got to go back to the beginning, but let me just check real quick. Okay, I got that one. Okay, Hamobu says the reason he didn't flush those toilets is because he's a hoarder. He couldn't let it. No. Now, in all fairness, Hamobu, you're probably joking, but I think that's probably too far. I don't think that a hoarder would save Dookie. Is it possible? I mean, it may have happened. There's a very unique case study, but I don't think that I don't think that that's what this chat room. That's what I'm saying. Some of these comments, boy, just set the chat room on fire, and it's crazy. I got to get out. Someone said that some do that. Okay, all right. So maybe it's possible. Man, it's possible. If there are hoarders who do that, I don't see why they would do that. But again, I don't see why a hoarder would, I don't know. Is it possible? Yes. I don't want to believe. Let me just say it that way, Hamobu. I don't want to believe that that's the case with Umar, because that's like way out there. That's someone said a lot do that you got to watch hoarders. I can't watch the hoarder. I can't watch that kind of stuff because I'm the opposite of that. I gotta stuff got to be nice and tidy. One thing I'm working on is just throwing out stuff that I've been holding on for too long. Because I'm real frugal and stuff. And my wife, she's been on me about that. I'm getting better. Anyway, it is possible, homo, but I don't even want to think about it, to be honest with you. I hate to think that that's what's going on with Umar. I would hate to think. Is it possible? Yes. But I'm going to say no, because I want to at least, hold out hope for Umar on that. But what I can say is that there's no good reason. I mean, I guess that would be an excuse if for these toilets to be like that after, at this point. I don't think there's a legitimate excuse that Umar can give as to why these toilets are the way that they're, the condition that they're in, but then why live streaming. But is it possible because he has some sort of a hoarder situation with that type of issue? It's possible. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay, it's good. Thanks, Mobile, for the super chat. I hope you're doing all right. And Kadar says, okay, yeah, I got that one earlier. Nothing new. Yeah, okay, I got that one too. If you guys don't mind, let me go up to some of those first. Let me do 3 from the beginning of the live stream. What's up, Lewis Luck? Says that poor cartoon boy had Tourette syndrome. The way he was moving his neck to the cartoon Umar. Yeah, we were talking about that before, actually years ago, and that's this cartoon right here. If you guys haven't seen it.
TMG.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr.
Umar Johnson. I am a certified school psychologist.
Hi, Dr. Umar. I'm so happy that you're my principal. I love FDMG. Can you tell me about the school?
We are going to make history.
See how the child started moving his neck as soon as he stopped talking?
We are going to shock the world. We are going to transform.
I don't know who thought that this was a good idea. Yeah, thanks, Lewis Stuck. But that goes back a long time ago because this is years old. Yeah, shout out to Lewis Stuck, too, one of the OG. Thanks for the super chat. What's up, beautiful Bernice? Baby's in the building. Say, hey, Lenny Cooker said, thank you so much for tuning. I ain't seen you in a while. Hope everything's going well with you. Yeah, I haven't seen you. This one, OG, she was around, and she knew about Umar way before most people, going way, way back. I can't remember what year you said, but he was out in New York, and it was around the time. No, it wasn't. It was even before that. I remember the story, but I can't remember what year you said that you first met Umar. But she has some insights on Umar that goes back to way back in the day. And she's been along for this journey, as I've covered the Umar Johnson saga, from what I remember, from at least maybe the first year I started covering Umar. So thank you so much, beautiful Denise. I hope you're doing all right. All right, good to see you. Yeah, one of the old OGs. User 225 says remake the brother Jose skit with Jose toilet clean. No. Jose don't clean no toilets. He ain't gonna clean. They don't do that. He keeps his own toilets clean, his own, because he's real tidy, but he don't be going to other people's filthy. He ain't gonna do that. Thank you, 225. What's up, Daxter? Daxter says Jermaine is cleaning toilets now, huh? Yeah. That's what he. This was 2 days ago, I believe, and that's what he's come to. It's like he's scraping at the bottom of the barrel. He can't really do a paint day because he's already done so many of those. He can't do a cleanup day because he's already done cleanup days. So what are you cleaning up? Unless you're hoarding stuff again, it needs to be cleaned up. So at this point, the best thing, I guess, in his own mind that he can come up with is to clean toilets. It's sad. Thank you, Daxter, for super chat. What's up, sweetie boy? Says, miss you a lot, Uncle Lennon. Glad to see you back, man. Toast to 4 months. Yeah, toast to you. Thank you for tuning on in. And I haven't been as consistent. I know that 1 month I did month. I uploaded something every single day. I had never done that on YouTube ever. But then after that, I kind of. But I'm back in the swing of things. My plan this week is a live stream today. If everything goes well, tomorrow. If everything goes well, then we'll do Wednesday as well. Okay, we got a lot to get into. So shout out to Smitty Boy. Congratulations on the 4 months. All right. Smitty Boy also says, since Umar want to clean toilets and post about it, he can apply to be a janitor in an honest living and a legit job. Yeah, there was a time I worked as a janitor, and there's nothing wrong with that. I took pride in my work. The thing is with Umar is that he doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to run a legitimate business. And see, if he ran a legitimate business, I can see that, okay, there's no reason. And he could be making crazy money if he was just operating legitimately. I mean, crazy money, especially on social media. But for him, I think he's so caught up in this FDMG school scam, and he's invested so much of his time, not money, but his own time, into spending this fake school scam that it's hard for him to look away and turn away. And it's easier for him just to beg and to continue to beg, and then people send in money for a school that doesn't exist, than to go and get a job, be on time, be held accountable for whatever it is that you're doing. Also have superiors. That's nothing. He can't stand that. I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's something to look out for with people. If they can't take guidance, that's one of the reasons why he destroyed his career as a school psychologist. And he can't allow himself to be held accountable. He's always blaming everyone else. It's everyone else's fault. Can you imagine him in a working environment where he has superiors trying to hold him accountable for something he didn't do right, trying to correct things to make him so that he does better? Umar wouldn't be able to do that. See, my current boss, I respect him. I have a respect for him, but he's a good boss. My previous one, it was a woman. I respect her extremely. She was awesome. One of the best bosses I've ever had. And so to be in a position where, you recognize that you're not King Kong consciousness, and you're not the most requested scholar, and you're not Big Papa, and you're not all these things that Umar's fabricating in his own mind, and you have to actually listen to someone else or to take guidance or direction from someone else. Umar can't do that. He should do that, but I'm just talking about he's so used to just doing what he wants to without any type of guidance or without any type of accountability that he's not in the position where he would actually want to work, and earn a decent living. He could, right? He could, and it could be a business. He could run a legitimate business. Thanks, Smitty Boy, for the super chat. And then Chelsea says he's desperate. Yeah, he really is. I think Umar's in desperation mode. I think Umar really went into desperate. He's been desperate for a long time, but I think it really ratcheted up when he lost his Cash App. I told people that this was going to happen, and then when he got exposed as a deadbeat, of course, when Lenon comes out and exposes him, and then when the whole situation with the city of Wilmington takes place, but also Sister Mary Ann Lawrence, he's in desperation mode. He's been in it quite some time, but I think at this point he's like really, really in a rough spot. I wish I could help him. I really do. I've tried my best. I know I clown him and stuff, but I try my best to give him insights. And the first thing with Umar, what he needs to do is to let go of this school scam, and he could do it. It would be difficult, but he's been so used to this. Remember, this has been going on now for at least 15 years. That's a long time to hold on to something that is fanciful. And if you hold on to it for 15 years, it's more, the longer you hold on to it, the more difficult it is to let go of it. And that's Umar. Okay. Thank you, Chelsea. Or Chelsea. It's probably Chelsea. Is it Chelsea? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And I caught these earlier. They're not super chats, but I just want to acknowledge the Black Anonymous says also LenonHonor Films. Brother Malik is interested in being on your show. Okay, he has given me permission to give you his number. Please call him at your earliest convenience. Yeah, if you can email it to me, or if you have his email, I can do it that way. Yeah, he's been interviewed by Information Man, and it's one of the most important interviews that I've seen dealing with Umar. This is one of the most important videos that I've seen of Umar. He's been interviewed twice. The first one, both of them was good, but the first one, it really opened my eyes to a lot. So thank you, Black Anonymous. I appreciate that. Okay, and then also you said, greetings, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. Did you get my emails on Terrence? But yeah, I did. I've gotten so many emails. I actually stopped replying to people's emails a couple of months ago because it got to be too much, and then I was spending too much time doing personal emails, and it takes a lot of time. So I don't think I ever replied back to that one about Brother Terrence. And Brother Terrence Bailey, he's a true descendant of Frederick Douglass. And the Bailey family, years ago, they put out a public statement. They actually have a website and everything, so it's all legit. It's explaining how Umar is not related to them whatsoever, even though Umar continues to act as if he's related to Frederick Douglass. So Brother Terrence, he was one of the forerunners to criticizing Umar for that lie. In fact, there's all types of stuff. Some of that will be covered inside the documentary too, because I have all of those videos and notes on those, especially during that time period. And then you also said, and the video of Umar at his mother's house when the social, yeah, I have that video. I would just have to go and find it. If you can email me, just remind me about finding that video for you, and I'll find it. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably put it into my Google Drive and then send you a download link. You can download it and whatever you need out of that. Okay, thank you. And shout out to Black Anonymous. Black Anonymous has been around a really long time. Black Anonymous has a blog spot, and this is one of the people who were around earlier criticizing Umar, who's still around to this day, and I have a lot of respect. for Black Anonymous. A lot. Thank you so much for being supportive over all these years, but also thank you for your contribution to exposing Umar and the school scam, amongst other things. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, email me when you can. And I'll look out for it. I had to stop responding to email a couple of months ago. This just got too much. The solar engineer says, here we go. Umar is going to be pushing the bean pies next. All right, the money, y'all. Umar, he's tried a lot of different things. I don't think Umar will ever get to the point where he's selling bean pies, my brother. I don't think so, because that it actually takes work, you know, and you got to stand out there. You got to make sure Umar, he's I don't mean to say it, he's lazy. Even selling bean pies, you got to put in some effort. I love these bean pies. I eat bean pie. I love these bean pies. But if you don't know, Umar, he's tried to sell a lot of different things over the years. You know, books, DVDs, Big Papa TV, Big Papa Podcast. It wasn't called Big Papa TV. It was called Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar TV, or something like that. Pillows. Don't make me pull those up. He was trying to sell FDMG pillows. I kid you not. I'm not making up. Hit the one. So he's tried a lot of different things, but bean pies, I don't think so. I think that's a little bit too far, okay? Just to be honest with you. Okay. Thank you, Solar Engineer. I appreciate the super chat. Okay, and let me do 5 more just so I can kind of get caught up here. And thanks everyone too for your support and for your patience. Jermaine believes donations like R. Kelly believed he could fly. He ain't flying now. He did that jail cell. The new low is showing himself cleaning toilets for donations. Yeah, I agree. I think that if he's not rock bottom, he's reached an all-time low. In fact, that's what I was going to call this video. I may change it now that I think about it. I may rechange this to Umar Johnson reaches an all-time low, cleans toilets at FDMG, something to that effect. I may even change it, but that's what I thought I was going to have this as. Anyway, it is, in my opinion, in all the years that I've covered Umar, and I've seen Umar ups and downs. There's times where I felt bad for him. You know, there's times where I've empathized with Umar. I've always wanted him to do better. In all of the years, I think that this is the lowest point, especially given everything that's happened this year. So, and Umar, he's so hard-headed that he's not going, because he doesn't see anything wrong. But obviously there's something wrong. There's quite a few things wrong. He needs guidance. He needs wise counsel right now. That's what he needs. And I can give it to him. Yeah, but I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. Because that's not how men do things. Okay, if there's a problem, what's the problem? Okay, why does the problem exist? Your ass. Okay, how do you fix the problem? Okay, it's not sabotage. It's not everybody else's fault. It's not Cookie Crush Chat. It's not LenonHonor. It ain't Black Anonymous. It ain't Information Man. It ain't nobody else's fault. It's your fault. So how do you fix it? Okay, that may work. That probably will work. Okay, but let's focus on that. Okay, what are the steps to fix it? What do we need to do in order to implement that plan? How are you going to hold yourself accountable as you're implementing this? That's how I talk to him. Stop talking about sabotage all the time. How it's everyone else? No, it's your motherfucking fault. You do, and therefore you're gonna have to be the one to fix it. But he don't want to hear that because he think he's the next Christ, literally. Boy, if you don't cut it out, talk about he the Black Christ. Jesus wouldn't be having no toilets looking like that, real talk. Because cleanliness, from what I heard, is next to godliness. Jesus ain't gonna have no toilets looking like that in the first place. Can you imagine going to Jesus' house? Come on in, my child. Come on in. You come in there? No, Anyway, thanks, me, myself, forever. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. User225 says, if Umar was in Star Wars, he would be Umar the Hutt. Why you got to bring up Star? Say Umar the Hutt on Camino asking if they can make African female clones. Oh, no. Java 2, they freak. Yeah. No, I appreciate the Star Wars and the sci-fi reference. I love me some sci-fi. That's what I told. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't gonna. I know I set this live stream up, but I was running late. I told my wife, I don't think we're gonna be able to live stream. I don't even think I should try. She says there is no try. I said, what? She says there is no try. I said, why you got to do me like that? Because she know how I'm into sci-fi, because it kind of activated my sack. And the woman start talking sci-fi talk, boy, I tell you. I said, what you say? I said, you're right. We're going to do this tonight. So here we are. Y'all thank my family. That's right. There is no try, only do, Elliot. That's right. My wife, she tried to play the Jedi mind trick on me. And it worked. It worked because I was like, oh, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, women, let me just tell you real quick. If your man is into sci-fi, every once in a while, you know, you want to get him going, just throw a little sci-fi in there. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop. Okay, thank you, 225. Blackwood says, not only is Umar low, I have noticed Umar is seriously rattled from everything going on. He definitely is bothered by this type of attention. Yeah, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about it. You're absolutely right. I will propose that that's one of the reasons why Umar, he hasn't been online all that much. You guys notice that? Hit the one. I think this is something, especially if you haven't followed Umar for an extended period of time. There are times where he kind of disappears, but not for extended period of time because he always has to beg for money. But you guys notice more recently, he's gone ghost. I'm going to tell you guys, it's not one thing. It's all the stuff that is happening again. Shout out to Lene, the Marianne Lawrence, and also when Umar was lying about his bank account being frozen and how he needed money for himself and money for his mama, that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So that's all and bank accounts are frozen and Lene hacked him and his bank account, Lenon hacked him. I got to get a lawyer and he needs money for that and blah, blah, blah. But see, when Marianne Lawrence comes out, it's like, you know, what else can, I mean, I was thinking, okay, we still got months to go. What else can happen? So then on top of that, he settles with her out of court and he tried to sue her for $500,000. He ends up paying out a settlement of $68,000 to Marianne, Sister Marianne. Meanwhile, I mean, and mind you, remember Umar, he looks at women in a negative and derogatory way as if women are less than him. That's why he feels so comfortable with exploiting y'all. So for him to be, and see, that's why I said this earlier, maybe a month ago, or a couple of weeks ago, I told people that all of the videos that I've done on Umar, with all of the exposés that I've done on Umar, breaking stories, so forth and so on, covering Umar, pales in comparison to the power that Black women have to expose Umar based upon their own personal experiences. So when Lene comes out, blows up the spot. When he's exposed as a deadbeat, it blows up the spot. You guys see females. When Sister Marianne comes out, it just takes everything to another level. And then ultimately Umar has to pay out to her. And then Umar goes ghost. He was already in hiding. These are the things for people to really think about. Because in all the years, I haven't seen this, not like this, but it's because, again, it's Umar's own doing. He set all this up because of how he's living behind the scenes. One last thing before we move on, Black Wolf. There have been women who contact me with their stories about Umar since I told them to contact me if they want to come on the show. But most of the women who contact me, they don't want to go on the show. They just tell me their story. I listen and they ask for confidentiality. And I'll say, okay, you're absolutely okay. So there's a lot more out there. Thank you, Black Wolf, for super chat. Kadar says his ego is too big to do things differently. Yeah, I think that's part of it too. He has a huge ego. He doesn't want guidance, and he's fixed in his ways. And he thinks that it's easy. I think it's easy money, but it's not easy on him personally in terms of his personal life. And there's things that he can do to get his personal life turned around, but he's going to have to shift focus and really focus on himself. I also think, Kadar, that for Umar, looking at himself and being critical of himself, it's like a self-inflicted wound. He doesn't want to do that. I mean, it's a challenge to do that. I've probably done it too much, being overly critical of myself, criticizing myself more than anybody, you know, and then you get in that mindset and it's very, very difficult. It's one thing when you do it and it's constructive, or when other people do it and it's constructive, but it's another thing when it's just harmful. And I think for Umar, I don't think he sees criticism as being constructive, and a part of it is because his ego is too big. That's why I tell people, stay humble. You know, I've done way better on YouTube. It's not even close this year than ever, but I stay humble. The Lord give it, the Lord can take it at any given point. I mean, I may not be here tomorrow. Okay, so stay humble. You guys understand what I'm saying? Not to be talking like that, but this is the reality of the situation. And when you have humility, you're more open to constructive criticism, but then you're also open to making different changes. But if your ego is so huge, you think he thinks he's the Black Christ. Okay, if you Jesus, which is, you shouldn't be talking like that anyway, clown. If that's who you think you are, then why would you need to feel like you need to change anything? I'll tell you, that's crazy. It's crazy for Umar to even be thinking like that. I have so many clips of him talking like that. It's a narcissism. Like he really thinks that he's God's gift, that he's God's son. That's how Umar talks. Okay, well, is that someone who has a huge ego or ego that's in check? That's someone whose ego is so huge, it's too big to do things differently. That's Umar. Thank you, Kadar. Umar got some nerve. Okay, I think I'm almost caught up. Jermaine went from Prince of Panhandling, King Kong consciousness, to the new low Prince of Doo-Doo. I'm not gonna put that on him. Okay, Prince of. Okay, all right. Prince of Pan. Let me stop. Thank you, me myself forever. He's a con man, liar, deceiver, and a womanizer. These are all statements of fact. In fact, I think that Umar's lying. I think he's a pathological liar, and sometimes he lies for no good reason. See, pathological lying is because you want to paint a false narrative. You may even tell some truth in a lie. But then there's people who lie and they just lie for no damn reason. Well, I think sometimes, not all the time, Umar actually lies for no damn reason. There's no reason to lie about that or lie about this. There's no reason. And yeah, I call him the great deceiver of our time. That's what I call him in the Black conscious space, like Sauron, like Senator Palpatine, Sith Lord. He's a great deceiver. He's fooled a lot of people. These days, more and more people are waking up. That's why it's a lot easier to criticize Umar, including a lot of the people that used to attack Umar critics back in the day. Now, these days, some of them, they're critics of Umar. They're not defending Umar like they used to, but they were deceived by Umar too. Yeah, he is a con man. His biggest con, in my opinion, is the FDMG school scam, but he's had other ones like the shockumentary that he said that was supposed to premiere in the fall of 2014. He was collecting money for it then. He was collecting money for it all the way through, and I thought it was 2020. No, he was collecting money for it all the way through 2022. And there's still no shockumentary to this day. What is shockumentary at? And I have receipts on all this. I can pull up the original meme. It's amazing because on that original post where he said the documentary was going to come out, it says the fall of 2014. He takes that he just downloads it like a decade. What is it over? Yeah, no, almost a decade later, and he just types over it 2022. Who does that? You can still see if you really look carefully, you can still see the 2014. He just put 2022 on. I think it was 2020. Might have been, for some reason I keep thinking 2020, but I just, my memory is not what it used to be. But whatever happened to that scam? Well, that's a con. There's all types of cons. Another one real quick is the Rules of Romance book that he was collecting pre-orders for back in 2021. He was collecting pre-orders for it. Well, the book never came out. So yeah, he's a con man. He's a liar. He's a pathological liar. He's the great deceiver over time, and obviously he's a womanizer too. The thing is that it's hard for me to fathom why a man would want to live that way in the first place. I never got that, even when I was younger. But even still, why would he want to pretend as if somehow? Well, I know why. I just don't get it. I think it's just so hypocritical. If you say you love Black women, then why would you be a womanizer? Womanizing is not an act of love for anybody. Selfishness, and I also think a little level of hatred too. In my opinion, you really have to have hatred to treat women like that. And I don't get that. I really don't. It just doesn't compute in my mind. Have some respect and have some appreciation. And I'm married. Listen, I've never cheated on my wife. That's never gonna happen. I've been cheated on though back in the day in relationships, and it was just a horrible feeling. And I'm one of them kind of people. I'm loyal like a hound dog. I'm with you, and that's it. I ain't even got time. I don't even know how I'm in confined time to do that shit. Ain't no enough time in the day to be getting texts and side pieces and all that shit. It's just a waste of time. Well, for some cooch. Shit. Anyway, I'm loyal like a hound dog. But I still, even like when I'm out, I still appreciate, like if I see, I just say, I appreciate women. I ain't gonna be like, hey, you looking good, and damn, girl, I ain't gonna do all that. But it's a woman is a woman. Y'all cute. Shit. Just how you are. You're just cute. See, but that's a level of appreciation and respect. But Umar, he doesn't have appreciation and respect for women. He looks at you like you guys, like, your dog meat or some shit. Anyway, let me get off of it. I just don't get it. I don't understand how people can say, I love black women, because Umar, he talked like that, but then he's a womanizer at the same time. Anyway. Thanks, Kadar. Lewis Luck says him cleaning the toilets is a metaphor for where the school is. You're right. It's like a metaphor for where the school is now, today. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. That's a great observation. So if we look at it in terms of symbolism, let's just look at it as symbolically speaking. Let me get this over here, because for some reason my webcam. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. I'm still got to figure out my webcam. Anyway, it's like symbolic. It really is, that after 6.5 years, this is what everything has come down to. This is what Umar has to show to people as an example of progress. Some shitty ass toilets. My son right there. Some shitty ass toilets. That's what he has to show. And it's symbolic. It's a metaphor for where the school is at now. Yeah, it's amazing to me. I gotta tell y'all something. This Umar Johnson saga will end within the next year to year and a half. So specifically dealing with this FDMG school scam. Because where things are at right now, and I've been following this for a long time, I mean, how can it get any worse? That schools get sold off? And it could still happen, because who knows? He may not even pay what he said he was going to pay. And then now next year it's the same thing. And then this time, what happens then? It's true that this video, it's reflective of where this whole school scam is at this point. And it's been going on for such a long time, over 15 years. And what does Umar have to show for it? Shitty toilets. Umar, I know you're watching these videos. You watch these videos. I know you're probably watching right now, but you have to get this at this point. All of this is stupid shit. It's just stupid. It don't even make sense. How you gonna pay faculty and staff, homeboy? Where you gonna come up with the money to furnish these shits, homeboy? What you got, about $120, $130, $40,000 worth of IT infrastructure you need to put in? That's just to put in IT infrastructure. I'm not talking about Chromebooks. I'm just talking about the technology that you need in these shits to get started. You got to get computers for all of the, come on, man. It don't even make sense. How you going to feed these kids? How you going to get these parents in this crime-infested, drug-infested, low income, and it's low income. It's hood up over there. How you gonna get these parents to pay $500 a month to go to a school? Meanwhile, there's 2 schools right down the street. One of them is a STEM academy that they built last year, and they can go there for free, homeboy. It don't even make sense. Is you stupid? Not to be like that, but I'm really starting to think that you stupid. You hard-headed for sure, because I've been telling you. It don't even make no sense. See, and the last point, then we're going to get back to the video, Lewis Love, and everybody, Quicker Chess Undefeated. You would think that someone who has allegedly 6 fucking degrees, damn, Gina, and Pam, would have more sense than this. I'm gonna leave it right there. Thanks, Lewis Love, for the chat. That's well said too. And no, real quick, as brown as the bowl as Umar must be. Y'all be hating on Taco Bell. Says as brown as that bowl is, as brown as that bowl is, Umar must have been eating Taco Bell. Listen, me personally, I think Umar shits in there, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you got it, come on. If you got it, heck, take a shit. Go on and take a shit. We don't need to know about it though, but just at least flush the toilets, Umar. And if you're not gonna flush the toilets because you want to save water, so you save some money, at least close it. Ain't no thing. There's no lids on them things though, is it? Damn. But at least before you show them, clean it up first, and then go in there and say, "I'm just cleaning out the." Then they can look not, just clean anyway. All right. All right, let me do two more. We get back to the video. Sweet, what's up, Sweet D? It says Umar doesn't chew his food. Dropping boulders. That's how my dog is. My dog, he don't even chew his food. He just put it in his mouth. He go, and don't try to take no food out of his mouth because he goes crazy. He turns into a savage. He about this big, and he. I said, boy, if you don't stop, huh? All right. I said, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. I'm just playing. Okay. Thanks, Sweet D, for the future. I'm saying that too because the dog is right on the picture. Every time I see that dog, I think of my dog. Thanks, Sweet D. Shout out to Information Man says Umar is washing the toilet as an illusion and distortion of progress. Umar is playing with his own shizzle because he lives in those buildings when there are no faculty or students. What do you think? Yeah, okay. So I brought up there's no faculty or staff, there's no students. So let's go there for a moment. Then we get to the video, everyone. Thank you guys for your patience. So what's going on here then? Are we to believe? Okay, first of all, the story that Umar that somehow, and maybe you can speak to this like when you do your next video. If you cover this particular video, you can speak to this further. And if you do, let me know. I'll promote it on my what you call it, and I'll check the video out. Let's go here for a moment. So, is it possible that contractors are coming in and they're defecating in these toilets and they're not flushing the toilets? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Is it probable? It's not probable to me. It's not. So this to say that I don't believe Umar's story, that somehow this is a conspiracy, that the Dookie sabotage, okay, Dookie Gate. I don't believe in Dookie Gate. Now, is it possible that Umar, because these buildings, they're his kicking spot, he has people that come through, the plug be coming through too, real talk. But he has people that come through to kick it with him because they ain't doing shit up there. Excuse the pun. Is that possible? Yes, it's possible. Is it probable? Yes. And in fact, I think it's more probable than this notion or idea that the black contractors are doing it. Okay, so we're going up different levels here. I'm just going information based on what you're saying. We're going up levels. But let's go to the next level. Is it possible that at this point Umar is living in those buildings, and that he's the one defecating in these toilets, and that he doesn't flush the toilets often because he doesn't want to have to pay more on the water bills, especially given what has happened with the city more recently with these water bills. You guys understand what I'm saying? Now, is that possible? Absolutely, because in my opinion, I believe that Umar has lived in those buildings at different periods over the last 6.5 years. Is it probable? Yes. In fact, I think it's the most likely scenario that Umar, he's the one defecating in these toilets, and he's not flushing simply because he wants to he doesn't want to have to waste water. But then he also has homies that come to kick it, and they be shitting in there too. See, let's think about this for a moment. I mean, damn, this is crazy. But let's think about this. Even if these black contractors were shitting in these toilets, why doesn't Umar flush them that same day? If, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, we have black contract, we're going to say black because you know how you always talking shit about black people. If we have contractors who are coming through shitting, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, but they decide that they're not going to flush, then why doesn't Umar Umar Johnson simply come through after the fact and flush the toilet? Are we to believe, ladies and gentlemen of the Cookie Crush chat room, that Umar doesn't have the 5 to 10 seconds it takes to walk to these bathrooms and the 2 seconds it takes to hit that flush? Boom, bow. How you like me now? Ladies and gentlemen of the Cookie Crush chat courtroom, are we to believe that somehow it's too much of a diabolical act to flush these shits down? Okay, stay in character. To flush these shits down the toilet. I'm asking, are we to believe that somehow Umar can't find the 10 seconds it takes to walk into one of these trap bando bathrooms and hit that flush 2 seconds to flush this shit down, to we're in the water by the time he gets to the shit in the toilet, that the water hasn't already, what is the word, Matlock, what is the word, Perry Mason, that the water has gone down because of the whatchamacallit. Not condensation, not exaltation, but that other word that I can't think of right now, and you guys aren't helping me. Hating ass. It's not disintegrate. It's not explicate. It's not even defecate, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's not low tide. Yeah, thank you. Are we to believe that the evaporation, not the condensation, but the evaporation of the water took place over the course of a couple of minutes, a couple of hours? No. I posit to the court that the reason why the evaporation had gone down for such a low, to water gone down because of the evaporation to such a low level is because the toilets hadn't been flushed for months. Therefore, are we to believe, ladies and gentlemen, that Umar Johnson could not find enough time to flush that shit down for a couple months? That he did not walk through these bandos. We have video evidence of him walking through those bandos too, by the way. We have video evidence from the 1st of this month. Why didn't he flush? Why didn't he flush that shit down a month ago? 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, a day, 2, 3, 4 days ago, so that when he goes live, we don't have to see not the condensation, but the evaporation. See, that we don't have to see not the clear, pristine waters of the toilet, but this muck and mire, brown shit with shit in there and who knows what else. And the smell, my God. So, I'll propose, ladies and gentlemen, that Umar, getting back to what Information Man was saying, I propose that Umar, he has been living in there more recently, and that he has been defecating in there consistently, and that he hasn't been flushing the toilets because he wants to save water. Now, real quick, let's look at what has happened more recently with Umar. Let me get back to the video. Well, we got stuff to get into for the next couple of days. Shout out to Good Coach That's Undefeated. If you're enjoying the show, if you like the little thing, if you go hit the like button, shit. I'll be going all out for y'all. I'll tell you, I get cleaned up, take a shower. I know I'll be late, but when I get on here, I give y'all a good show. Come on, damn. Think about it. With everything that's taking place behind the scenes with Umar, remember, he was living in mama closet, living off of his mama, but with everything else going on, I told people he ain't gonna be able to be standing there like he was standing there. So what's the closest spot for him to go to? FDMG. See, but even still, information man, it's going to get very difficult for Umar moving forward. That's why I'm trying to drop some gems. I know I'll be clowning him and stuff, but I'm trying to so that he can put himself in a better position so that he doesn't have to go through this again, because he has to go through this every single year. What am I referring to? Well, winter is coming. Y'all see? So if any of you guys are new, then we're going to get back to it. If you're newer, and welcome to you newer people, even if you're Umar Johnson followers. If you're newer to this, understand that winter is a trigger for Umar. And that's when Umar scrambles, because he's been homeless since 2019, the end of 2019. So when we get closer to winter, he gets more frantic, right? He's trying to figure out a place to stay. He's asking for people to, find me a venue to speak at, because he knows that they're going to provide him with room and board. I've talked about this extensively over the years. And you'll notice this. He'll say, "Yeah, but you'll notice too with his schedule is, it's broke down now, but part of that has to do with what's taking place behind the scenes. Shout out to Lene. He's not at liberty to do all the stuff he was doing before, because he's supposed to be the primary caretaker. And because there's more eyes on that situation now, Umar has to be careful. But see, now he doesn't have all these speaking engagements, because he can't travel free like he was before, because he got to keep up with this whole facade that he's the primary caretaker of his mama. He has to be there in the first place, or at least be around for the first place. You can't be over there in Africa for three weeks or a month. See? But if you guys look historically speaking, what would happen with Umar is you'll see that he would ask for people to find him venues, because they're going to provide him with room and board. They provide him with some food to eat. What do they call that? Some hot meals and a cot. Yeah. Get a rental car, all that stuff. They pay for all that stuff. But then ultimately, Umar has to come back to Philly as a homeless person. And so then what would he do? He would start staying inside of these trap bandos. And when he had money, because the money was coming in a lot more back in the day, it's fun, real funny now, he would just rent hotel rooms and just live out of hotel motels. You would see him live streaming in hotel motel rooms. See, we don't see that. Not like we used to. And we don't see Umar live streaming in the mama closet like we used to either, because he can't stay there like he used to. So that's why we've been seeing him live stream more recently, even though he's been kind of hiding out. Well, he's been live streaming inside these trap bandos. Why? Well, get back to information, man. See, it's more probable at this point that Umar, because of his homeless status and because he's burnt so many bridges and because the money's not coming in like it used to, he can't get the hotel motel rooms. So what does Umar do? What can he do? Well, he has to figure out other places to stay, and it's more likely that and I'm not saying all the time, but that he's staying inside these abandoned buildings. He's using the bathroom inside these abandoned buildings, and he doesn't want to flush the toilets because he doesn't want to have to pay more in water bills. See? All right. Shout out the information, man. Thank you for super chat, sir. Let's see, real quick. User 225 says Freaky Umar showing his skid mark Tunde. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. Thank you, User 225. What's up, Brian? Says somebody using the toilets wasn't. yeah. Somebody using the toilets. Was it you? All right. Thank you, Brian. And shout out to Brian, one of the OGs in the buildings. I appreciate you. 100% real man. Thank you for becoming a member again this month. I appreciate you. Nice hat as always. What's up, Lenon? Says Lenon, that bucket was his. Okay, I think I got this. No, wait, man, I didn't get this. Lenon, that bucket was his, and the toilets is like the one at the house stained. Oh my goodness, yeah. You didn't mention that to me when I interviewed you and had you on, but I wouldn't be surprised by that. I'll take your word for it. I wouldn't be surprised because if Umar, obviously he's filthy anyway, the hoarding and all this other stuff, but based upon the conditions that you've described. And if we look at Umar's apartment, when he had an apartment back in 2019 and how filthy that was, you also look at the video where he flips the phone at his mama's house in the mama closet. And then you look at the FDMG buildings. This is a pattern of you look at the bathrooms, and just in particular, just the bathrooms, the toilets. This is a pattern here. There's nothing extraordinary. I mean, it's extraordinary to us, but I don't think it's extraordinary to Umar and how he lives. So therefore, I would not be surprised if the toilets in the bathroom in and of itself wasn't filthy at his mama's house. Yeah, it's just such a shame. It really is. Thank you, Lene, for the super chat. Excuse me, everyone. I need to drink something. Real quick, Jam says, Umar, after school come through, I'm at the crib. Yeah, yeah, it's like a clubhouse, you know. And he approaches it that way to, you can't come to my clubhouse, you can't come to my fort. It's like that. Remember back in the day? It's my school, and blah, blah, blah. But when he need money, it's our school. Okay, but at the bottom line is, Umar, and it's not just right now. I think that there's been plenty of times over the last 6.5 years where he was reduced to just living out of these buildings. I'm not surprised by that at all. Not at all. Thanks, Jack, for the super chat. And then just Slack, what's going on in them bandos? Yeah, in those bandos. Yeah, and you know what's interesting is that he's only showing the bathrooms. Who knows what else is going on? And the bathrooms in one building. Who knows what's going on in these other buildings? There's no telling how filthy. See, I can't even remember the last time Umar gave, I don't think he ever has, a full walkthrough of everything. You would think that he would have done that by 6.5 years, but stuff is so filthy and trashy, especially on the other side of the street. My goodness, I don't think he probably would ever want to show everything. So for him to show these toilets and the condition that they're in, it just speaks to where everything is at. I think Black Wolf had mentioned that, where everything is at with the school scam. But it also shows the level of desperation that Umar has, because it makes no sense for anyone. Any rational thinking person would do something like that. But Umar does it because he needs money. So all that it comes down to. Thank you, Miranda, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And then Smitty Boy says his nasty ass really touched the toilet seat with his bare hands, soot stains in the toilet, and calcium buildup. That's just disgusting. It is. Again, if Umar, after 6.5 years, this is where he's at, why would people think that somehow he's going to open up a school? And even if he got to the point where he was able to open up a school, why would y'all think that somehow he'd be able to manage all of this to keep stuff clean in the first place? We're not talking about everything else, but just to keep things clean. See, no one's in there, allegedly. Okay, let's assume we're with Umar. Ain't nobody living in there. I'm just saying this Umar. Ain't nobody coming through. Except the contractors. And for some reason, these professional contractors, if in fact they're professional, allegedly, and that they're coming through allegedly, they decide to shit and just leave the shit in the toilet. Well, if they did do that, Umar, why don't you just flush the toilets after they did that and tell them that they have to flush after they take shits, or to just fire they anyway? Don't even make no sense. It's disgusting. But that's Umar. Thank you, Smitty Boy. Let me get to the rest of these so I get all caught up. We'll get back to the video. How are we doing on time, too, by the way? Okay, we're going to go for another 30 minutes, but we'll be back tomorrow to pick up where we left off. All right. What's up? Ike says, that them Ifatunde cleaning juice. Oh, no. No. Thanks, Ike, for the chat. User says, why doesn't he flush first? You just smearing. Yeah, he doesn't know how to clean. He doesn't know how to clean. What he should do is flush in the first place. And then if the water fills back up, who knows? I mean, the water could have gotten turned off. I mean, listen, information, man, this is something else to consider. It could be that Umar didn't pay the bill enough to where they cut the water off, but they were still shitting in there. And then he gets the water turned back on, so he got to get in and clean it up. Does that make sense to people? I know it sounds kind of weird. Hit the one if that kind of makes sense. I can explain it again. I don't think I did a good job. So let's say that Umar had running water. And because he ain't been paying bills. We all know that based upon what's happened with the city. But let's say he just wasn't paying on that water bill. Okay, and that's different than the sewer drainage or whatever it was called for the other thing, because that's something that's separate. Because there's something that there's a city, the water rain, the stormwater bill or whatever. That's that one. But then there's also the bill for water that's coming in that you're going to be using. They have a term for it. I can't think of the term right now. I can't think of the term. Anyway. Is it possible, this is something for people to think about, that Umar, he wasn't paying on the bill for the water that was coming through the building that you are used to wash your hands, flush the toilet, etc., and that got cut off. And so as a consequence, he couldn't flush those toilets. And so he just kept shitting in there. Well, this is a shit show today. All about shit. It's shit. And then at a certain point, it just fills up, it gets backed up. And then he gets the water turned back on. So he says, okay, now let me get in there and let me clean all this up. There's something people think about. I know it's gross, but man. Thank you, User 225. But that's not how you clean. You just don't just throw stuff in there while there's feces all up in there. The idea is you want to get the feces anyway. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, User 225. LTKK says, I think he's high when he paints and cleans like this. Tweakers just start doing random tasks. Yeah, the thing though is that there's someone else in there with him I think for Umar, it was because he also had cleaning supplies, so he had to bring the cleaning supplies in there. I think it was calculated. So in other words, I don't think he's just tweaking all of a sudden. He just gets up and says, let me go. No, I don't think that. In this case, let me just put it that way, LTKK. In this case, I don't think that that's what's happened. In other cases, yeah. But in this case, what I think is Umar, he thought about this. He said, okay, I got to do something to get money out of people. And so, I'm scraping at the bottom of the barrel at this point. And he's not a creative thinker per se. He has an imagination, but when he imagines things, it's like so out over the top and ridiculous. Like you don't teach the boys how to fly helicopters and fly and float ships and fly airplanes and all this and put an observatory on top of the roof and all this other. But I think this is calculated on his part. Okay, he specifically got the cleaning supplies. Obviously, there's no cleaning that has been going on, and he wants to show this to people to make it appear as if he's making progress. And there are some people, sadly, who will take this and say, "Oh yeah, he's making progress." And he's doing a great thing, and it's only a matter of time. Well, that's the game that Umar's been playing for, specifically with the FDMG school scam in Wilmington, Delaware, for the last 6.5 years. So in this case, I don't think it's a tweaker. Well, it is tweaker behavior, but I don't think this is a consequence of Umar tweaking. Umar tweaking. I don't think that it's a consequence of Umar tweaking in this video. I think it's an issue of Umar. It's protracted. It's calculated. He's doing this because he wants to get money out of people. Okay. I could be wrong, though. Thank you for the super chat. Lewis says, looks like he's using the paint to clean the toilet. The paint to clean the toilet. I don't know what he's doing, okay? It's clear, though, he doesn't know how to clean toilets. He doesn't know what he's doing. Again, he poured almost a whole thing of, it looked like it was, what is that called? Pine Sol or some sort of derivative of that, something similar to that. That's not how you do things. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how to clean. It shouldn't get to that point in the first place. Let's be real about that. Some serious neglect for have toilets to get to that point. But the fact that they are at that point, he doesn't even know how to handle it. He doesn't know how to clean it either. It's ridiculous. Thanks for the second. Okay, I think I'm at the last two to get caught up here. Brother Jose left a Mexican surprise. No, don't say Mexican surprise, okay? It can be anybody, okay? African American surprise, Latino surprise, Taco Bell surprise. Thanks, User YouTube. Sim Shahid says, this is a basic thing you hire plumbers or cleaners to do. Come on, Umar, he's going to leave it worse than it was. Yeah, so this also brings the question, where is the money? See, he paid out over $68,000 to Marianne Lorian. Well, couldn't he have just, see, if he hadn't been out there fucking up and trying to exploit Marianne, he messed with the wrong room right there, and Lene. But if he hadn't done that, well, that's $68,000 that he could have put towards these trap bandos. And even if that's his own personal money, well, why didn't he use his own personal money to get these shits fixed up here at these trap battles in Wilmington, Delaware? How much skin in the game Umar got? Huh? Y'all think about that for a moment. This guy, he just comes up with $68,000, over $68,000. I think it was $68,000 to pay out to Mary Ann, and she got paid. But see, if Umar had been acting up and acting a damn fool and wasn't a batshit crazy, well, that's $68,000 that could have gone towards getting these bathrooms cleaned up. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Well, really, what Slim Saeed's saying. It's a good point. So where's all the money going? Umar, he really has. He's wasted so much money, more than that would be enough to get something started and to at least have these bathrooms cleaned professionally. Boy, it is. It's just crazy. Thanks, Slim. It's a good point, too, right there. He poured one out for the answers. No, don't do that. Yeah. Quick question is undefeated. Yeah. Thank you. Am I all caught up in here? AJ says he ain't washed his hands after. Oh, yes. Well, hopefully he did. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But the point is that in with those types of conditions and the condition that these toilets are in, he should be wearing gloves. There's nothing wrong with cleaning up. It shouldn't have gotten to that point in the first place. But if you're going to clean up, it really should be done in private. You shouldn't be showing that, not like that. Right? But furthermore, that if you're going to clean up something like that, you should have some gloves on. Okay, just for people to just think about it. Just have some gloves on. It's just gross. See, when he pours the water in or pours the different liquids in, it's stuff is splattering up over the edge of the thing. So some is going on his pants, some is going on his shoes. It's also possible as he's pouring it in, it's going all back up onto his hand. Come on now, it's ridiculous. Oh yes. Okay, thanks, AJ. 100% real man says mixing anything and everything with no ventilation. This ninja trying to get night. He's done this before too. When they cleaned the gym, Umar, they had Fabuloso and bleach. They were mixing that, no ventilation whatsoever, and that's toxic. This is toxic too. There's no ventilation in here. Plus, in terms of the fumes of the feces, that's toxic. And anyway, we can go on and on and on. No mask, anything like that. Shout out to 100% real man. Thank you for the super chat. Chelsea says, it stinks in there. He just dropped the turd and didn't flush. He's not serious about cleaning that toilet. I think I got this one earlier. So this kind of ties to what I've been saying. Then we're gonna get to the video. We'll go for 15 minutes on the video and we'll get reset for tomorrow. That it's more likely that Umar he just uses these bathrooms for himself. It's more likely that is the case, that he does have people who come through who use them as well. And it's probably a situation, in my opinion, okay, I'm speculating here, that Umar, he wants to save on water. It's expensive over time. Again, he's whatever the water bill is since he got water turned on. You think about it, we're talking, it's been at least 5.5 years. Okay, but for what? It's all wasted money, and money's not coming in like it used to. Money's funny. He's in dire straits. The CashApp got shut down, so forth and so on. This goes on and on and on. And so for him, he has to save wherever he can. So it's more, in my opinion, I'm speculating, it's more likely that this is what's going on here. What's sad is he's had way more than enough money to not have it get to this point. That's for sure. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Sometimes your man wants us to do. We use a 225. What are you talking about? That don't even sound right. Thank you for the super chat. And then Slim Shite says, and woman actually shacked up with Umar. They all funky. The thing is that most of the women who dealt with Umar, I would say probably overwhelmingly most of the women. I don't know for sure. They don't know that. They don't know that about Umar. They find out though if they dealt with them enough. Remember, a lot of Umar's exploitation, though, it takes place in hotels and motels. So let's put all this in context. Y'all remember the conscious stripper? Y'all remember the conscious stripper? One of the things that she said, which was fascinating, was that she and it's not that she didn't say it this way, but and I'm paraphrasing this. She felt like she was being disrespected because Umar would only meet her at the hotel room. So she didn't see his living conditions. She didn't know that he was a hoarder. She didn't know any of this stuff. None of this stuff. None of the stuff that we know now today. She didn't know any of that stuff. So Umar, he'll take these women to the hotel motel and it's clean. He don't have to clean up anything. They have people who come to and clean up everything. See, and Umar, before he goes out to do these lectures, he'll get his hair cut. He'll get his beard trimmed. He'll get a nice dashiki. He gets all dressed up, get his hair cut nice. At least he used to do that more back in the day. So a lot of this is with Umar is the misrepresentation of who he is. And there are a lot of women who have fallen for that. But if they're able to deal with him on a more personal level, they'll realize very quickly what Umar is about, how he lives, and that he's filthy, inevitably. Yeah. Thank you, Sim Shahi, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And who's using the toilets in abandoned buildings, and why are they a problem? Yeah, okay. So now I'm all caught up. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of the super chats. I'm so behind in this chat room too. There's over 1,000 comments from the last time I was in there. Real quick, Lambert says that's the toilet Candace Oy gets her ideas from. Don't do that to Candace. I'm subscribed to her channel, but I don't have time to watch her videos. I subscribed when she first started her own channel because she was with another thing and they had a falling out or something like that. But I haven't had time to watch her videos. Anyway, thank you, Lambert, for the super chat. Says Umar has multiple personality disorder, and each of the of the poops belongs to a different alternate. Big Papa has diarrhea, King Kong is backed up, etc. Yeah, Black Anonymous has a video where Umar he states that he has multiple personalities. It's an interesting a video, really. I have it too, but I would have to go and find it. I have it archived. It's a fascinating tale. Okay, user 225. Some of the stuff you be coming up with is a little too. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Everyone, too, thank you for the super chat. I think I'm almost all caught up here. What's up, Enterprise? Says you see him calling for pull up on you and others. Yeah, that's an older video. I think that video was from 2020. that's when I decided that I was going to go back in on Umar, because I would have been done talking about him a long time ago. When he pulled that, he did other things too, but that in particular, he doxed my personal information as well and told his followers to come and see me. That's what that. See, it's just dangerous. I would never do that and put someone's life in jeopardy simply because they're criticizing me. I just wouldn't do that. There are legitimate criticisms that people have had. There's also illegitimate criticism. There's also people who've lied and created false narratives. What I've done over the years is the constructive criticism. I've learned from them. I've taken what I could from them, and I've done my best to use that in a wise way to change, get things turned around and change things in my life for the better. And I've done that. I'm still in that process to this day. Stay humble. The thing though with Umar is that when he had critics, especially back then, he would try to mobilize his quote unquote goony goons, his poopy goons, to go after people. People like Tiff DeGriff, people like what was that? She's not around anymore. Ann McMillan. This whole backstory, and there's other people too. There's males too. There's plenty of people. It's just he's not in the position to do that anymore because so many people he's burned so many bridges and he doesn't have that level of support that he had back then. But the point is that video that you're referring to, Enterprise, I remember that to this day. I think I had some of that in the first I had some of that in the first documentary. That was one of Umar's biggest mistakes. I'm sure that he wishes that he could have taken that back. Now, he probably could have gotten away with saying that about a few other people. But in particular for me, I can say for a fact that I'm sure that if he could take that back, he would, because I would have been done talking with him a long time ago. And I'm the kind of person that if you come at me like that, I'm gonna come back at you. I'm just like, it's like I ain't gonna be punked by nobody. Now, people can lie, they can create false narratives, that's fine. But when you start threatening and then you put my family's life in jeopardy, okay. And here we are. Thanks, Enterprise. YouTube says Umar has more. Okay, I got that one. Let me see. Okay, I'm all caught up. Who has access to the codes to get in the building? If you are on a substance, you don't care to clean or about the smell. It is about the fix. Yeah. So Christina, I don't know. I do know that Umar, he has people that comes through because it's the kick-it spot. But in my opinion, I think it's more likely that this whole bathroom situation is the result of Umar simply not flushing the toilets. He uses the toilets, but he just doesn't flush them. And this speaks to the second part here. Yeah, if you have addiction issues, and in particular substance abuse issues, stuff like being clean, stuff like, toilets being unclean, it's just not going to register. It's not going to be important to you. And I think that is the case with Umar. I'm not saying that that's the reason why these toilets are like this, because he could just flush them. He could just flush them. I think that it's a combination of a lot of different things, including what you're bringing up here. I also think it's the hoarding aspect of this, that it doesn't register. I also think it's Umar. He doesn't want to flush the toilets because it's water that's going to be quote unquote wasted, but the whole project is a waste. It's a money pit. And then I also think other people come through there, not contractors, to not flush toilets, because it doesn't make any sense. If contractors are even if they are coming through to use the bathroom, well, and they're not, for some reason they're not flushing, well, why don't you just flush the toilet, Umar? It doesn't make sense. So I think that there's a lot of different issues going on here. Either way you look at it, it's not a good look. Thank you, Christina, for the super chat. 3 drops and a plop. three drops and a plop in that toilet. What in the world are you talking about? Thank you, Ike. Says principal, history teacher, and flush enforcer. Yes, Umar will be going through enforcing the flushing of the toilets. Thank you, Kadar. Okay, a couple of more here. I'm sorry, it has been a super chat night. Information Man says if Umar had contractors, he would put it on camera and brag about us struggle streamers. What do you think? Absolutely. He's petty. We can be petty too. Now, listen, Information Man, we can be petty. Okay, I try not to be, especially I'm trying to be more kind to Umar because I know he's in a bad shape. But yeah, Umar, listen, if Umar is willing to record himself cleaning bathrooms, wouldn't y'all think he would be willing to record these contractors getting work done? When have we ever seen contractors up there? When's the last time y'all saw the contract? Seen one? I'll wait. No, real question. People in the cooker chat, when's the last time y'all saw some contractors up there? Because that's what he blamed people on. So if these contractors are, if they're the one dookie-ing and doing all this dookie-ing, then shouldn't there be some video of them in there cleaning too? Like, and working? They just don't come through the dookie. What kind of contractors come through just the dookie? Shouldn't they be doing some renovating and then dookie? Listen, ain't nobody gonna travel to some abandoned buildings just to dookie. This show is a mess. Boy, YouTube ain't gonna like this one. I guarantee they're gonna be like, you can't monetize all this dookie talking you talking. Anyway. Yeah, but we're the struggle streamers, okay? All right. Yeah, everything that Umar says is getting done up there. We don't see any evidence of it. And you best believe that if there was evidence, he would record it and he would brag about it, and then he would call us haters and we're struggle streamers, etc. But we don't see that. Why? Because it's a figment of his imagination. He's lying about all that. Listen, 6.5 years. Have I seen any professional contractors up there? Maybe 3 times, and I don't know if they're professional, but I would say maybe 3 times. Now, in terms of people coming up there to act like they're doing stuff, I don't know, maybe 10, maybe a dozen times after 6.5 years. And I'm being very gracious with that figure. I'm trying to give Umar some grace on that. Now, how many times have I seen Umar up there saying that he's working, but there's no work getting done? Over the last 6.5 years, I mean, I don't know, maybe 100, 150 times. Y'all do the math. Y'all, this chat room, y'all tripping. Okay, I can't even read half of the stuff you're saying up in there. Thank you, Information Man, for the super chat, sir. I appreciate you. Salute. Stacy says it's the people that keep supporting him that are stupid. Not trying to sound mean, but stop the support. Yeah, Stacy, I've tried to be as gracious and kind to his supporters as possible because, and again, I'm not, you're right. I try to have grace. And the reason why is because we've all been fooled at some point. I think by someone, we've all been fooled. We thought they said they sounded like they had to, but then it turns out they're not who we've all been fooled. So I'll phrase it this way, Stacy. That if someone at this point in 2025, and again, back in the day, it was a lot different, like I was talking about earlier, Umar was a lot more believable, and a lot of people didn't know about Umar. More people know about Umar now, and he's less believable now. Most people, they recognize he lies a lot. So I'll say it this way, Stacy, that if in 2025, someone hears about Umar for the first time, I could see them supporting him and sending him money because they don't know the history, they don't know the backstory, they don't know the St. Paul school scam. They don't know the school was supposed to open back in 2013. They don't know that it was supposed to open in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, and now he's saying 2026. They don't know about the Chicago school scam. They don't know about the Detroit school scam. They don't know about the New York school scam, which was in Mount Vernon, I believe, Mount Vernon, New York, the Florida school scam, the school scam in Southern California, the one in Atlanta, the list goes on and on and on. So in that case, people coming in at this point, even though there's plenty of information out there, we have to extend. I don't say you have to, but I'm saying that it's probably best to extend some grace to people who are they're coming onto the scene, they're newer. And let's say they support Umar for a year, I can see that. But if they do enough research and they're honest about it, after that year, they should be asking some critical questions. Okay, once you get to about a year and a half, at that point, they should be realizing at least some of the truth. By the time you get to 2 years, they should know. And at that point, the support should stop. Stop the support. Now, to speak to what you're bringing up, there are people, and even to this day, they were supporting Umar back in 2010. So here we go. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2019, he acquired these trap balance Wilmington. Everyone gets excited. He gets a massive cash infusion. 2019, 2020, he's bringing in crazy. This guy's raised millions of dollars. But at some point, the people who have been donating to Umar for the last 5 years, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, they have to wake up. Many of them have. But the ones who still, supporting this? Stupid? Okay, I got you. But you see, I got to give grace for the people that are more newer on the scene, right? And if you're Umar Johnson's follower and you're someone who's donated to Umar, I'm not here to disparage you because it's your life, it's your money. Money is time, time is money, and time is life. You get older, you get to my age, you realize, okay, time and life is the same thing. I'm not here to disparage you. I'm just saying, listen, you at some point, okay, it could be a year from now, it could be next month. But if it gets to 3, 4, 5 years, that's up here. I ain't gonna call you stupid though, but you know. Again, do what you want to. It's your money. You know, you want to support, whatever. But I'll know one thing. It's your life. If you guys look at this, money is time, time is money, time is life. Therefore, by extension, money is a form of life. And you need money to live. So here we go. So you are not just giving your money, you're giving your time, you're also giving your life. And you need those things to live. But therefore, what has giving your life produced? Giving your life to Umar. How has that benefited you to give your life away? I know this it sounds extreme, okay? But how has it benefited you? How has it benefited your children to give your life away? That's money you can put on your children. That money is time. That's time that you can spend with your children. The time that you use to get that money, you could be using that to deal with your children. Not one black child has been educated in 2025. Millions of dollars raised. And what do you have to show for it? That's all I'm saying. I'm not here to bash you, Umar Johnson followers, but what do you really, tangibly, what do you have to show for giving your life to Umar? And I'll tell you that out of those three things, time, money, and life, your life is the most valuable thing. Your time is secondary. And your money is tertiary, but all things, they're all connected. Just something for people to think about it. To think about. Just think about it. That's all. And Stacey, like Stacey's saying, listen, at this point, if you've been supporting Umar for a year and a half, 2, okay, I can even see 2 years if you knew onto the scene. But after that, you got to start waking up. And at some point, you got to stop your support. And for those who continue to do it, and they've been doing it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, all right, I ain't gonna say it, but it is what it is. Thank you, Stacey. Malika says, better stop mentioning Palpatine. Umar will go look up Star Wars and claim he's an African Jedi. Saying he's the Mace Windu of this conscious shit. Yeah, but you see what happened? Mace Windu got his arm cut off. Yeah, Malika, Mace Windu is one of the most intriguing characters in Star Wars. And I really wish they had done a series like they're doing now with with the Disney, what they're doing, and if they did with Mace Windu, and even I know I forgot his name. You got to know what I'm talking about. The Billy who played one of the greatest actors. He's a little bit too old. I think he's older at this point. He probably wouldn't be able to kind of fit that, but it would have to be Mace Windu's story from a younger age, and they can find someone who kind of looks like him, and that would be an awesome series right there. Yeah, I love sci-fi. You know, I love me some sci-fi. Okay, thanks, Malika, for the super chat. And then Lester says showing poo online is diabolical. What kind of man? I know it really is. It really is. I understand why Umar's doing it. It just doesn't stand to reason. But it's not reasonable. That's not why he's up there. This is all for Umar. It's reactionary. He needs money. He needs money bad, and so he has to scrape at the bottom of the barrel. And this is the bottom of the barrel right here. I've seen him do all kinds of stuff, selling pillows, all kinds of stuff. But this right here, what kind of man? Thank you, Lester, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Shay says, hit that like button. Yeah, if y'all hit that like button, if you're enjoying the show, we got to wind this down now, actually. We have still have over 1,600 people here. We have over 1,000 likes so far. If you've enjoyed any of this show today, we'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Make sure you hit that like button. Well, that's the plan at least, okay? I'll set the show up after this live stream. The poll question is cleaning toilets in an abandoned building evidence indicative of real progress? 86% said no, 14% said yes. I'm surprised by that 14, but I think that there's quite a few Umar Johnson followers in the building today, and that's perfectly fine. You guys are welcome here too. All right. Wish the best for you, and I wish the best for Umar. Okay? You just got to do the right thing. You're doing the wrong thing. Thanks, Shay. Kogo says you've been talking shizzle this. I know, and I'm sorry, everybody, but that's the nature of what we're looking at tonight. This video will be demonetized, okay? But it is what it is. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all's support. Thanks, Kogo. Shout out to OKC. They're gonna probably win another championship this year. It's likely. Zari says FDMG lunch special. Doodles. No. Don't do that. Well, you guys tripping tonight. What's up? And thank you, Zaire TV. Vigilante says, FDMG, it's your duty to do your duty. It's our duty to do your duty. Okay. Thank you, FDMG. FDMG forever, okay? Flushing toilets never. All right. Thank you. Okay. I think I'm all caught up. Thank you, Kidar. I got this one earlier. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I got to everybody. Let me just check here. That way we can get reset. We'll probably go for how are we doing on time? We'll go for 10 more minutes with the actual video because we didn't really get much in the video. Got blowed off earlier. Okay. Wait, if the toilets can't flush. No, I think the toilets can flush at this point because I think he does flush one of them, right? It is possible that the water was turned off, because ain't nothing going on up there. So he just turned off and saved a little money. Ain't no telling. Okay, thanks, YouTube 5. All right, so let's get back to the original video. Wow, we only got 4 minutes into it. 3 hours later. All right, here we go. And shout out to Cougar Chat. Cougar Chat's on the video.
What the fuck? That don't even belong in the toilet. That don't even belong in the toilet.
Hey, man, that's filthy. What is it? Why do toilets look like this? Man, he going through all of them, too. It's not just one. It's just filthy. He dumps in one of them and just leave it in there. Then he just go. Then when he got to go again, he go to another one and just I don't get that. Can anyone make sense out of that? Someone said it's a snake. Someone said it's a dead snake. It's a shitty snake. It's a shit snake. I like the nature documentaries too. I used to watch them all the time with my kids when they was young. I used to love that one guy, Edinburgh or whatever his name is, Edinburgh or whatever his name is. The African stink or whatever it was. And it goes through the forest and he blah, 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 tea and crumpets. We used to love that shit. But I never heard them say a shit snake. The shit snake from Brazil. This one lives in the rainforest of Brazil. All right, here we go. Yeah, David Attenborough. Shout out to David Attenborough. He's like a legend in our household. David Attenborough, Stevie Wonder. All right. No, not Steve Irwin. I used to watch him too, but I'm talking about David Attenborough. He's real cool. All right, here we go. Yeah, I remember Wild Kingdom too, Marty. Yep, I remember that one too. I used to watch that back in the day. Here we go.
I got to put my gloves on. That don't even belong in the toilet.
What is it?
This is insane.
Look at, it's ceiling tiles, broken ceiling tiles on the floor. What in the world?
Brand
It looked like renovations are complete.
new toilets.
Those toilets ain't brand new. They've been in there for years. Umar, cut it out. I remember he got them installed. I can pull up the video right now.
That don't even belong in the toilet.
Why does he have the cleaning supplies so far away from them? Anyway, well, you should have them in the bathroom. Well, anyway, whatever.
This is insane.
Is that rude?
They know it. The social media know it all. They know everything. Built nothing, know everything.
There you go.
The social media know-it-alls. Built nothing, know everything.
Poor Umar. He don't even know how to put gloves on. Look at him. Look at him. Boy, I tell you. I'm sorry. I told myself I'm gonna be kinder to Umar. It's hard though. It's really hard to do that. This guy, he's trying to put gloves on with a fist and shit. The toilets are backed up from the storm drains not working correctly. That's overflow. Now that it's possible. Now, if you guys don't know, well, I was talking about this earlier, that the storm drain inside of one of the gyms, it was backing up, but who knows what other type of plumbing problems, because it's all going to be connected anyway, right? It's all going to be flowing out. The point is that it is possible that is contributing to this. Who knows? I mean, it's possible that the pipes are backed up, and that's why he hasn't been flushing the toilets. We don't know the whole story, but with Umar, you never know. What does he do? He blames the he blames the contractors. I don't want to. He didn't say black contractors, but he blames the contractors. That's what he does. But you would think that after 6.5 years, this should not be an issue. Don't y'all think so? After 6.5 years, this right here should not be an issue. Whether it is the feces in the toilet or the storm drain still causing problems. Don't you think that Umar should have been able to fix this by now after 6.5 years? Think about it. He done wasted a lot of money. I told y'all, even the money that he paid out to Sister Marianne Lorient, $68,000. Well, that's money that could have gone towards any of these issues. But no, they didn't. But see, Umar, because he's so shady in the real world, in real life, not just online, but in real life, and he's burned so many bridges, there's a lot of money that could have been gone towards actually opening up a school to mitigate these types of issues that's going towards other things. Because of Umar and his behavior, he's reckless. He's reckless all the way across the board. But you're absolutely right. It could be associated with the storm drains. Yeah, you absolutely could be. Ain't no telling. Thank you, Golden Child, for the super chat. All right, let's go. Let's try to get let's get 5 more minutes in here and then we'll close out this live stream. Here we go.
What we got here? Ugh. Mess my toes up like this. This is crazy. This is crazy.
See, that's ceiling tile material right there. See on next to his foot, that's ceiling tile material. It's just falling. He hasn't.
Log in here. Letting stuff fall all in my toilets.
Toilet. You know what that is? That's from the ceiling that fell in there. It's a bar that holds up the. That's what that is. It's the framework, if you will, that holds up the square ceiling tiles, and all that's come down. That's why you see it on the ground. And it just so happens that one of those bars, for whatever reason, who knows what's going on there, for that to be falling down like that, it fell into the toilet.
This is insane. Absolutely insane. I forgot to get the bleach.
Ain't no way, y'all.
I'm going to have to do a couple rounds of this.
You should have flushed the toilet first. All he's doing, I mean, all he's doing is just swirling it around. Why would you do that?
Somebody let paint get in the toilet. My paint team let the paint fall in the toilet. Look at that. Let the paint fall in the toilet and didn't even get it out.
Umar, you guys painted months ago. What are you talking about? You always complaining and whining about something.
Look at that. They let the paint fall in the toilet and didn't even clean the paint.
Oh my God. This guy, I don't think why don't he flush it? Just flush it.
Out the toilet. Brand new toilet.
Oh my God. We can't do this. We can't do this, y'all. We gotta leave it right there. I'm not a squeamish person either. I'm not, but Like I said, I used to be a janitor over the summer and at the college, UC Irvine. And when the students would move out for the summer, them bathrooms was filthy. Some of them bathtubs. I mean, what I saw, I couldn't believe it. But I get in there and I did a good job. I would clean that. So I'm not a skirmish person. I'm not. I've delivered 3 babies with my own hands. Blood, placenta come out. I ain't tripping. You know, women sometimes they poop too when they give birth. I ain't tripping on none of that. But what I'm seeing here is diabolical to allow these toilets to get to that point, but then to live stream this. You're holding your phone while you're basically mixing and swirling poop. He doesn't flush. What does he? Did he ever flush? Real quick. Quick rush chat. We're gonna be done in literally 2 minutes. I'm gonna talk for 2 minutes and then we'll play the closeout thing. 2 minutes. From what we saw, and I know we didn't get deep into the video, but from what you guys watched, did Umar at any point in this video, did he flush any of the toilets? I'm looking at the chat room. Did he actually flush a toilet? Oh my God, this chat room ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. I no one's answering. We're gonna leave it right there. Sports bet, he said flushing is racist. Oh my God. Oh, the quick crush chat it's crazy. Yeah. It's the poop gate. I'm sorry. I have to laugh because this is one of the worst things I've seen. And my mind can't take it. I've been a bit traumatized. I ain't gonna lie about it, family. I'm a little traumatized. Okay. If people said maybe he can't flush the toilet, we're gonna see tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow. I'm not gonna play no other videos. Okay, we're gonna get back into Poopgate. And we're gonna see whether or not. I don't want to have to rewind it though. So we're gonna say real quick, and then we're gonna finish up. We're gonna say that we did not hear Umar or did not see or hear Umar flushing any toilets. And then we're just gonna pick that up for tomorrow. And if that is the case, if he doesn't flush at any given point, then yeah, there must be some issue where either the toilets are backed up and he can't flush them, or the water's turned off and therefore he can't flush. Okay, so we'll see tomorrow. Boy, this chat room. Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Juju25 says, oh, why is he smearing the pool water on the outside? Yeah, that's what I was saying. And then he takes the thing and he taps it, and then you see all of the feces fall back out into the thing. I'm sorry, y'all, especially for you women. Again, I'm not squeamish at all, but it's sickening. And then it's all of the toilets, and he's live streaming it. He got his phone in his hand while he's doing it. There's shit particles flying all over the place, all over his phone, that probably all on his hand, on his face. Umar over here live stream with a shitty phone. You got shitty shoes on with a shitty phone. All right. This video gonna get to. This video is already demonetized. Oh well. Excuse the pun, but I don't give a shit. YouTube, just to let you know, I don't give a shit. Evidently, Umar doesn't either. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, 225. What's up, James? So damn disgusting. Dookie juice on his face. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. I shouldn't do that. All right. Thanks, James. Salute to you, sir. Okay. User 225 said, Lenon, I'll pay you $100 if you continue. No. We can't do that. We'll pick up. Matter of fact, because I can't take it. Where are we at on here? we only did 6 minutes. That's a dog. So 6 minutes and 28 seconds. Because I can't rewatch this. You guys, I mean, if you guys want to, you guys go and rewatch if you want to. But I can't do it. It's just too much. That part right there, we'll start like, because I can still see it in my interface right here. It's just ridiculous. Thanks, user 225. How's it going, Kipwana? Said this is diabolically stupid. It is. Again, to close out, Umar, he does not recognize, he doesn't have self-awareness. And you've talked about this, you're in education, you know how it's supposed to be done, but part of it too is levels of professionalism. And I know we goof off too during these live streams, but it's more for the entertainment value. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. My wife, she told me too, they energize you. The cookery that energizes you, and you laugh, you have a good time. It's important for self-care. I know it sounds it is true. It's true. So we goof off, but the idea that someone who's supposed to be an educator is supposed to have 6 degrees, allegedly, supposed to be a most requested scholar. He's supposed to be a school principal and a school vice principal and a school psychologist and also a therapist. This goes on and on and on. For him to even engage in this type of behavior, it's diabolically stupid. I said it earlier. Umar, I really started to think that you just stupid. I don't want to be like that. But the behavior and the lack of self-awareness is huge. Who in their right mind thinks that somehow this is good? My battery about to run out. It's not. It's not good. Thank you, Kitwana. It's deuterific. Okay. All right. Thank you, Derek. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Let me get the final tallies before my battery runs out here for the poll. The poll question is cleaning toilets in an abandoned building indicative of real progress? We had over 2,233 votes. 86% said no. 14% said yes. I'll go ahead and end that poll. Thanks everyone who voted on that. Thanks everyone who sent in super chats. If you send in CashApp or PayPal, thank you so much. My CashApp and PayPal information listed down in the description of this video. Thanks to the mods for handling the business as well. You guys are definitely appreciated. I appreciate all y'all. Again, thanks to everyone who's tuned in today. We'll be back tomorrow with part 2. We'll pick up where we left off. We had over 1,000 likes as well. Thanks everyone again who sent in super chats during this live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you did at any point enjoy this live stream, maybe not now, but maybe before, go and hit that like button. It helps to get this out to the algorithms. Okay. Thank you guys so much. And as we always do,
community, one black boy at a time. In this school, you don't have to worry.
FDMG!
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Umar Johnson. I am a certified school psychologist.
Hi, Dr. Umar. I'm so happy that you're my principal. I love FDMG. Can you tell me about the school?
We are going to make history. We are going to shock the world. We are going to transform the entire community, one black boy at a time. In this school, you don't have to worry about special education. In this school, you don't have to worry about ADHD diagnoses. In this school, you will never get a phone call from a teacher or an administrator telling you that your child needs dangerous psychiatric medication in order to get an education.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, what happened? Hold on a second.
We had, yes, donate to the school, $.
Here we go.
That is Wilmington.
Let me get to the
coming
end.
On the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
All right. Shout out to Chris. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was definitely unexpected. But again, Umar, he's scratching at the bottom of the barrel. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I hope y'all enjoyed the show.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming.
Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Dr. Brother James.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, yo, wow.
It's coming.
You're so well.
It's coming.
Oh,
it's coming. Oh, it's coming.
And East Beach, post that tomorrow, okay?
It's coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
Yeah, everybody wipe your feet off. Shout out to Identity with Dale. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. Cook Credit Chat's undefeated as... Oh, I missed a super chat. Hold on one second. Let me see. Lenon going to take 3 showers. No, I'm going to take one. I'm about to take me a quick shower because it's just... It's filth. This whole thing, the video, Umar video is just filthy. Okay, I feel filthy. So, I'm going to take a quick shower. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I do not take any of you for granted. I'm happy that you're in my life. Okay, even though we goof off and we get blowed off, I'm really appreciative. Okay, and I want you guys to know that. Cook Credit Chat's undefeated. I love you all, and we'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. All right, Cook Credit Chat's undefeated. Talk to y'all soon. Take care. Peace.